The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey.
Why?
Let's go!
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pink!
Stutter! Damn it! Your friend tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to our humble abode, the Thunderdome. On this Feel Good Friday, September 27th, 2024, this program starts right now. Football is awesome, and we're in a magical time. Week 4 of the NFL season kicked off last night in an NFC East thriller. Now, you might have fell asleep. Obviously, a lot of people did. The Cowboys win 20-15. They do not cover, though, if you got it at 5.5. They do cover if you got it at 5 somehow, like A.J. Hawk is going to say, or they do push it like A.J. Hawk is going to say. So we'll have a lot to chat about with the Cowboys and the Giants last night. Danny Dimes threw the ball 40 times. A lot of the conversation was if the Giants have to throw the ball more than 25 times, it's going to be a loss, especially with how the Dallas team has been giving up big runs. Well, the New York Giants rushed for 36 yards. Danny Dimes threw the ball 40 times. That seems like a recipe that you wouldn't win the game, but their time of possession, 35 minutes plus. So they were dominating the time of possession, but they were losing outright. And Brandon Aubrey could have made a field goal with like 30 seconds left to put them up 8 and have the Dallas Cowboys cover the 5.5, which I believe 80% of the people were betting on. Instead, he misses, which this dude doesn't do. Okay, Brandon Aubrey actually doesn't miss. Had another 60-yarder left.
Yep.
Had a 65-yarder last week. This dude, I learned his story a little bit more during the Prime kickoff show. His MLS career had ended. He said it did not go as well as he had planned it. He was with his wife watching football. Didn't know what his next step was going to be. I think he got into like doing finance or something like that. Got a completely new profession. I'm a retired professional athlete. Kind of lost his identity. And his wife, while they were watching football one Sunday, said, I know he has a cannon. Like, you got to be able to.
Come on.
You got to be able to do this. Found a kicking instructor 45 minutes away from his house. Would travel 3 times a week for 2 years. 2 years.
Wow.
He trained to figure it out. Had a natural stroke early. Then he goes to the USFL. Then he gets to the Dallas Cowboys, and the guy hits 19 straight kicks to start his NFL career. And he doesn't just make them. They're going right down the center. They're in massive moments with a lot of eyes on him, and he's slaughtering the ball. He misses with 30 seconds left. And 80% of the sports gamblers lose.
Okay.
Okay. They're saying that Buffalo Wild Wings thing where you hit that button, or maybe Roger Goodell drops into the stadium and goes in with an invisible cloak on him, or these gamblers are. Whatever the case, it was a little bit of a snoozer, but week 4 of the NFL season is off and running. NFC East is going to have a lot of conversations about them as the season goes on. People are questioning a lot of things. Chuck Pagano has thrown himself into an NFC East conversation that's been brewing for a few years. That is everywhere, and we told him that was going to be noted. We are on the eve of Georgia-Bama in a massive college football slate. It is a great time to be a football fan, and we're very lucky to do what we do for a living. The Talks the Table is right across the stage from me. It's at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. Packers. Don't look now.
Don't look now is right. This weekend is kind of the litmus test, if you will. Sure, that opening week game in Brazil against the Eagles was, hey, that's a good football team. We'll see where they're at. After how good they've looked the last 2 weeks, I think the line would suggest that Jordan Love is going to play this weekend. Everyone's talking about how good the Vikings are. Let's see. On Sunday in Lambeau, we're going to see how good the Vikings are, how good the Packers are. I am very excited, but also very confident in what I've seen so far.
One half of the hammer, Dahn. Cowboys, AP Tone, Pittsburgh Steelers. Big one this weekend in the Lot House.
Yeah, coming in the Lot House. Tomlin's 8-2 against the Colts in his career. I think the Steelers, a lifetime against Colts, is like 24-7 or something like that. A bit of a bug meets windshield situation, so we'll see this weekend.
This is a different bug. Okay?
A big old bug.
This is a bit loud bug. And this bug has got guys all over the defense to tackle people. We got tackling machines, legitimately, all over our squad. 3 of the top 6 leading tacklers in the NFL. 7 if you Kendricks goes up to number 1 because he won bananas last night.
Sure.
He has an extra game. 3 of the top 7 tacklers in the NFL are Indianapolis Colts. I know everybody's talking about TJ Watt. And how is he going to handle the loud house? I am worried.
That's a good question.
I'm a little bit worried. Might get too loud for TJ Watt. We shall see if the crowd is involved that much. But what are the Pittsburgh Steelers and Artie Smith going to do with our defense that flies around town? You talk about the pass, who cares about the pass?
That's right.
We're talking about this weekend, week 4 of the NFL Sunday slate, and it's a big one in Indianapolis.
All I see there is a safety leading the team in tackles, so that's good. That running backs are always getting to the 3rd level there. A couple of linebackers, running backs always getting to the 2nd level there. I assume.
No, we're gap signed. Okay, what the Dallas Cowboys were last night. Let's get back to that game that kicked off week 4 of the NFL season. Daniel Jones early. You know, the conversation from Chuck Pagano and everybody that seemingly did any research on the Dallas Cowboys in depth. It's like if the Cowboys are in the lead in the first quarter, they're in a much better spot than if they're not. So this is a first quarter football game. Daniel Jones is doing a lot of good things in the first quarter.
Oh, yeah.
New York Giants defense is doing a lot of good things in the first quarter. Thought because of the way he was being dissected. Now, if he puts that in front of him, does he get even more yards, especially with how fast Malik Neighbors is? That's going to become a story of the entire game for Daniel Jones. He was throwing the ball 40 times. He was completing that one. Obviously, he's wide open. Looks like he's guiding the ball a lot. These little shorter ones better. Robinson's got to hang on to the ball, too. That was a scary situation for them. Whenever he catches it, then he drops it, then it potentially goes the other way. But it looked as if the New York Giants were going to be in a good spot with how it started. And then inevitably, the Dallas Cowboys win the 13th out of 14th matchups or 14th out of 15 matchups. The New York Giants lose to the Cowboys again in this entirety. The refs were certainly a fascinating part of it. But last night, big part of the game, Dak Prescott damn near perfect. And are the Dallas Cowboys defense back to being who we thought they could be with Zimmer as the D coordinator?
Yeah, the defense was definitely good for the Cowboys, but I think it does go to the Dan Jones can't really get it done when they get down close to the red zone. I said to Bruce coming in, it's nice also watching a team in primetime that is not my own, that is very, frustrating to see because the Giants, they were moving the ball. Like, Neighbors is unbelievable.
Time of possession first half was like 10-1.
Yeah, they were dominating.
Like 6-1. They had the ball moving.
Yeah, and they played well until they got down to the red zone, and then it started to kind of stink it up. And when those throws that you're talking about with Dan Jones, them being off by, a foot, a couple feet, whether it's the guys leading him or he's leading him too far or it's a little too high. Like, there were so many of those. But if you're a Giants fan, I don't think you're kind of hitting the panic button because you knew exactly what you had and the fact that, like, hey, if Daniel Jones doesn't throw the ball 25 times to Malik Neighbors, then our offense isn't that great. And then for the Cowboys, you got to be, I guess, feeling a little better, but still not feeling pumped up about what you saw, because there were a couple moments there where it did feel as though, hey, maybe if the Giants do complete some sort of Hail Mary, some sort of
they're
prayer,
in it. It's 25-point game.
That they were going to end up winning that game. But, I mean, back on the right track, Dak was spinning it for sure. The penalties, I mean, come on now. The tackles for the Cowboys definitely had a lot of trouble with that Giants defensive front, but there were a few, flags picked up. There were a few flags right off the bat. I mean, we saw Cody Bellinger, and of course, the Giants didn't have as many as the Cowboys, but right away, one of those 4 for the Giants was a face mask called on Cody Bellinger.
Completely wrong.
How do you even get this wrong? Like, I don't understand
it's
where
his face mask getting tossed around. Not the Cowboys. He got called for a face mask. Then there was a hold. That was flag was picked up on a touchdown. So early there was a lot of people saying these refs are rigging this for the Dallas Cowboys. Oh, why did the Giants never beat the Dallas Cowboys? Well, because they got stripes on their side early. That was conversation early, very loud.
Yeah.
But it turns out these refs just stunk.
Yeah.
These refs are just throwing flags all over everything.
Yep.
The amount of offsetting penalties, we tried to look it up. Was this the most in the history?
I think it was like 5 or 6 of them.
Is it the most in the history? Because that's an extra 10, 12 penalties there that could get added into that entire thing. And that's another stoppage, another full explanation. There was numerous times last night where we had to hold on. So a little bit more chatting. All right, yeah. That's what we thought.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, we're back. Yeah, and it's on an ISO there. They're talking about some of these ref crews really throwing the flags a lot. And then in our opinion, I think there's some crews that have been doing very well because it's not a topic of conversation every single Monday like it has been for the last 3-4 years.
Yep.
Literally every single Monday, it would be some ref crew screwed some team in a massive moment. And then as soon as that happens, that's kind of a bird call to everybody else. Be like, did you see what happened in the first quarter of our game? And then bang, bang, bang. It's like, these refs stink. This year, that has not been the case as much. I think the conversation has been these offenses suck.
Yeah.
Not the refs suck in this entirety. Defenses are good, not the refs suck. Last night it started back up. It started back up with like, hey, refs, we're not here for you.
Yeah.
We're not here for you. And then I guess this weekend's Colts-Steelers game has Land Clark, who I think he throws the second amount of flag. Cleet Blakeman throws the number one most amount of flags. And Cleet is gourmet. He's jacked too. I don't know what his crew's up to. I guess they see the game better than every other crew. But it's like these types of things are not what the NFL wants. These are not the type of things that the NFL fans are looking for. You see the illegal formation penalty has certainly dissipated as I think they were hoping would happen. But boy, that got loud. Fans got loud. It's like we don't need 5-6 offsetting penalties plus another. Like we don't need that happening. That's not how it needs.
Well, it always feels like in the opening game of the year with the Chiefs and Ravens, and then the Brazil game, the primetime games last night. The flags come early too. Like they do settle down later in the game, but it's always like the first drive, second drive, third drive when people are just tuning in. So it makes it even worse because it's like the first 3 drives of the game is just a ton of flags. Eventually they settle in. I don't know if they're trying to make a point on how they're going to call it that game or whatever, but it feels like they are early and it's in prime time a lot too.
Money lost last night big time by gamblers.
Yeah, 80 over 80%. Yeah, on that field goal, which
Think about these sports books.
I know.
They're continuing.
Yeah.
How do they do it? They dump this thing into a never-ending vat of gasoline.
Yep.
And then just light it. And then it's just they step in the batter's box and they're doing this number here.
Yep, here we go.
Boom, bang, boom.
Dinger.
Bang,
Gotta be AI.
boom.
Dinger.
5, 5.5, 6 all day.
They got to love the dogs because 15-3 ATS now are dogs of 5 or more points on this season, which is huge because people don't normally like betting dogs, especially the big dogs. They just take the favorites blindly. But Al last night saying when Aubrey was coming out to kick, he goes, a lot of people were loving that he's coming out to kick this field goal right now. And then he missed it.
Yeah, and then he said, a lot of people not loving it. Brandon Aubrey seemingly missed the kick for the first time ever. This guy walks on the field, makes the kick, and that ball even like turns mid-flight.
Yeah.
And then it
Goodell
straightens.
blew it, damn it.
I mean, there's
That's
a
why.
chance that invisible
Controlling the wind.
I mean,
Turn that fan off.
well, let's not talk about controlling the wind right now, obviously.
And the clouds.
Joining us right now, ladies and gentlemen, is a man who was given a 5-point line because that is what was on the graphic, but after further investigation and research, the number was actually 5.5.
Ooh.
So he's not given a loss. He's given a draw, a push. Ladies and gentlemen, the guy who hammered the Cowboys last night. Big Mike's biggest fan. Actually designed the hat that Big Mike was wearing last night during that game. AJ Hawk. Hawker, you got a push last night, seemingly.
Yeah.
I
got to push. I got to push at 5, and you got to win. Is that right? How's that work?
Yeah. Well, listen, if we're going to go with what the actual line was, which was 5.5, okay, I win, you lose. But instead, we're saying, no.
Being gracious here.
No, AJ, you don't deserve that because the graphic did say that. But it was, anyway, 6 to 5.5 to 5. Nonetheless, these sports books are swinging a hot bat. What did you learn from that game last night? How do you feel about that Cowboys defense only giving up so many rush yards as opposed to what they had been the last couple weeks when everybody was calling them soft and everyone's saying these guys don't have any gap discipline and these guys are a bunch of hero mans all over the field trying to do everything for everybody else. They have no trust or faith in each other. They obviously get a win. Danny Dimes throws it 40 times. That's not a recipe. What is your big takeaway, and how do you feel about that Cowboys defense?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if the Giants were going to win a game, this was a game that they needed to win. I think the Cowboys had, 11 penalties on them. The Cowboys did everything they could, I think, to honestly allow the Giants to be in that thing. And I think the Cowboys, obviously on offense, I know Lombo likes stats. I'm not a huge stat guy, but I think the Giants had like 1.1 yards per rush, which honestly, if you do that, that's not exactly winning football. Tough to win a game that way, but I thought Danny Dimes was all right. You can't settle for field goals. You got to get the ball in the end zone. I think that's the name of that game last night.
Congrats to the Cowboys getting a win in the snoozer.
Yep. So
Yeah,
it
a
was
little bit
terrible.
kind of cagey match.
So pumped that it was over when it ended. It was like, God, thank God I can turn this TV off right now.
That was everybody's kind of takeaway. I fell asleep.
Smart. I wish I did.
Hard not to.
I wish I did.
Woke up, watched it this morning, and as I was watching it, I'm like, thank God I fell asleep in this entire thing. But then I went and checked the internet. I'm like, what was everybody's reaction to this game that I'm watching right now? And that's kind of a fun time. You get to look back a few hours on everybody. There's a lot of people going, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
This one.
Not even just last night. I saw a ton of tweets saying the season's been boring, which I don't love.
Swagoo said, this game's cheeks, dude. Get me out of here. It's like, that's not how it's supposed to be with Cowboys and Giants either. You know?
Prime time.
Especially with the vibes that the Giants had going into that game. And then Dak Prescott, what he has been. Now, granted, they didn't have the ball there,
right?
Really, for a while. They were being successful. CD Lamb doing his thing and then getting called, obviously, penalty. Got to call it.
Yep.
Got to throw a flag. Certainly have to.
Don't have a choice.
Why wouldn't we?
It's ridiculous.
All right, so let's sort it out. Hey, let's figure it out, NFL games, primetime games.
Here on out.
Oh, man, look at that. It's going to be great. That taunting.
Yeah, I mean.
What?
Come on, dude.
Said he threw the ball in the general direction of the defender.
He's just excited. He wasn't throwing the ball at his opponent.
Brother.
Even if he
Looked like it.
Think about the human that is eyeballing that and being like, I don't like that.
Think of some of the stuff that think of some of the things that don't get flagged, and then you get flagged for this. Like, I don't know. Just doesn't add up.
We'll have Saban on next hour. We'll also have Coach Kalen DeBoer on in the next hour. So we won't have DeBear on, but we will have DeGoat and DeBoer on in the next hour, which we are obviously incredibly honored about. But Coach Saban talked about, I think, last week on the show. He said, just define it actually, what's allowed and what's not allowed, so I know what I can coach. Because then whenever it's just like, he threw it in the general vicinity, didn't he? And I saw his eyes. I don't know if everybody else saw his eyes.
Same cardinal direction.
His eyes were giving, what, bitch? Even though he didn't say it. Yeah. So we can't have that, right? So that is an interesting, and I assume this all revolves around the Tyreek Hill deuces thing too, where he does the look back with the hand.
Yeah.
It's like, why is that? Why is that a problem?
Let him do it.
And they said, well, kids don't need to learn that. It's like,
hey, will he get fined for this? Sorry, will he get fined too? That's terrible if he does.
Yeah, they're taking away his whole entire contract from the year, I think.
It's game check. You're saying it's a game check. I don't think it's the whole year.
No, whole year. Yeah, they're just so that he doesn't do it in the future.
He just signed the deal.
Maybe kick him off the tour.
They're taking it all.
He's getting suspended.
Kicked off the tour.
I mean, there's a chance you do that type of in the vicinity throw.
Can't have it.
Maybe, you're right. Maybe suspend him a week like Derwin James.
Might cut his hand off.
Speaking of, let's dive into it.
Do they play the
Okay, so Derwin James suspended for one game. This is obviously a massive decision made by the NFL, Runyon, and plenty of other ex-players, including Jordy Nelson, I believe, who is now a part of the thing. Welcome back, Jordy.
And baby Jordo.
Jordo.
He said Jordo actually rode a horse to the meeting.
He did.
Yeah,
That's cool.
He's been, right. Weren't you the one? You were the one who told me that, AJ, weren't you?
Oh yeah, I've ridden a horse that one of Jordy's horses where he was leading it around for me because I'm not too confident on horses.
So he was walking horse while he was showing horse?
Whoa!
I got a picture of it somewhere. I'll find it. Yeah, when I was out there visiting, he's walking. I'm okay with it.
You're an adult.
I respect the power and the majestic beauty of horses, so I will let Jordy do that any day.
I agree. That's why you got to connect with that thing like you're an avatar, pal. Okay, you gotta let that.
I didn't have it that day. That guy was walking sideways up to the barn and knocking my whole body against the barn. So I needed Jordy's help.
It was talking shit. It was just talking shit. He wanted to see
he could feel it. He felt my heart rate was not right. Like, this guy should not be on me.
Yeah, so, those horses are hey, they talk about those horses in like a certain.
Yeah, they can feel weather coming.
Everything. Yeah. If you can feel it too,
you can chase
it. But that horse was talking shit to you. Anyways, Jordy's a part of that group now. Happy to see a lot more ex-players get involved with the NFL. That's always a good thing anytime we do that. Now with Runyon, with the story around Runyon and how he played and everything like that, him being the one in charge of suspensions and then suspending a player, it's always going to be a huge talking point. It's always going to be like, oh, so now Runyon wants to ruin football, or we're not playing football anymore? What is the entirety of it? And then you see the hit that Derwin is getting suspended for against the Kansas City Chiefs, right? Obviously, it appears as if he tackled as if this was football 10 years ago, 15 years ago. He clearly hits him with helmet in jaw, over middle of field, which middle of field hits is one of the main focus. He does. He makes contact. There's clear contact, I guess, which is one of their things. And then you add in the fact that Travis Kelce hasn't had his best start. And he's a safety.
Right.
And he's suspended for that. He's suspended for that. You start to wonder to yourself, like, what is going on?
It's interesting.
So we reached out, obviously, little journalistic standards here, and said, is there any way we can maybe get a little bit more information on this entire thing? Because as you start thinking about it all, it's hard not to be like,
they don't want him to play against the Chiefs.
They want Kelce to do well for his girlfriend.
Are they girlfriend? Engaged? Married?
Or
Don't
even say it.
Don't do that.
It's the 27th.
Don't do that.
The date changed because it leaked.
It was a school project. That's not even real.
Good Lord.
And also, I'm hearing he's open.
I'm nervous for tomorrow.
I'm hearing he is open. That's what I'm hearing.
On the football field?
Yeah, on the football field. Yes, I'm hearing he's open. Per source,
Says
the Chargers and James were among the teams and players that received a warning letter from John Runyon prior to the season that any future player safety violations would result in his suspension. James and other similar players who had been disciplined for one or more player safety fouls over the last 2 seasons received this letter. While any player can face suspension for a first-time violation, these players are put under a greater scrutiny when considering a suspension due to their previous infractions. So this is, hey, we've talked about this. Hey, we've talked about this. Now, I don't like the carryover from one season to the next. I guess they're saying like habitual offenders. Habitual offenders fall into this particular case, but it is very apparent what the NFL is trying to get out of the league, keep out of the league, and it's like, hey, we see anything from you this season, we won't let you know, you're gone. We don't care if you're one of the best players, obviously not on your team, but in the entire NFL. People know you, you're hard-hitting, you play great football, you respect the game, you appreciate the game, you commit yourself to the game, your life to the game and to the team. But if you happen to do the shit that we've been talking about, suspended for a game. Now it's against the Chiefs. That's a massive, massive game for it to take place, AJ.
Yeah, it is, and it's a big deal. I mean, if you're coaching the Chargers and you're losing Derwin James, like you would be, I'd be very frustrated. Like, I understand what they're trying to do. I understand he did kind of make contact with the bottom of his jaw or whatever, but these aren't really the hits that they're trying to take out of the NFL. I feel like we're talking like submarine head down, crown of the helmet. We don't want anymore.
I think it's the action of him doing this number. I think that is what they're talking about.
It was a heck of a tackle, heck of a job getting him down for real.
Yeah,
it really was.
And he's going to say, I was trying to get my left shoulder because he cuts across, so I'm just trying to get more. He's bigger than me, too. Pat Freiermuth is a tight end.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to do. And then, as Jim Harbaugh said, they're trying to take – this is what Jim Harbaugh said.
Exactly what you would want somebody – that what the league is trying to – what the league is trying to get to, which is take the head out of the game. But you can never really take the head out of the game because it's in between the two shoulders.
You see. You see.
Of course. It's true.
And I've never seen a hit more prevalent to what he was saying there than he was trying to, but his head, you see, just so happens to be on the other side of that shoulder.
Exactly.
And then guess where it is? It's on the inside of the other shoulder.
The other one, yeah.
So it's going to be hard for them to hit with two shoulders, you see, because there's something right in the middle there. Nonetheless, they lose one of their stars going into a massive AFC West matchup. Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, senior insider for the NFL at ESPN, and then maybe he can elaborate a little bit more on the intricacies of this and how many players are in a similar player group where it's like, hey, if you do any of the stuff we've talked about in the past, you're going to be suspended a game. That's a big deal. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Schefter. Schefter, don't know if you heard me read from my source at the NFL, but basically with the Derwin James, thank you. Yep. I have sources.
Credible.
We all do. Yeah. We all do, Pat. We all got sources, right?
Well, I mean, in the conversations you have probably, I don't know if all my friends have sources. I only have a few.
I got one.
You do got one. A very good one.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you will say you have other sources, though, too, just to say
Of course, yeah. I got a bunch of sources.
Anyways, our NFL source said that players were told by Runyon and the committee before the season, or Derwin James and other players were told before the season, like, hey, any more of this type of stuff, suspended. Even though players can get suspended for first-time acts, there were some players that they said were habitual offenders, seemingly. Do you know how many players are in that particular department? And Derwin James obviously getting suspended is a big deal. Is the next one worth like 3 games now that he's been suspended 1 game? Do you have any more intel on that? Because this is a big deal, obviously.
Yeah. On the first Sunday of the season, my sources told me that I put out a story on ESPN.com. There were 15 players, roughly 15 players that got notices from the NFL. Pat, we've all got. So AJ's been an excellent source over the years.
What?
Excellent.
You rat! AJ Rat, not a hawk. No, he's always.
I knew it.
That's unbelievable. And we know AJ. He's lying, AJ, right?
I love. You know what I love? AJ just sits there stone faced. He knows I'm having some fun with it. He just sits there, no reaction.
Just having some fun here.
Just kind of eats it all. All good.
Just Josh around, yeah.
But basically, the league sent out a notice to players and teams right before the start of the season, and there were roughly 15 players that got that notice. Derwin James, obviously, was one. And the league warned these teams and players that had some sort of history to this sort of behavior, that if there were any further acts that the league deemed not sportsmanlike, that they would face the consequences. And here was a player. Derwin James has been, in many ways, a model citizen, like a Walter Payton Man of the Year. He's beloved in that organization, well-respected. But the league looks at it like, hey, there are a couple of questionable hits here. And the league feels like it warned him. And the league felt like that hit on Sunday, which I'd be curious to know, AJ, as a defender, you find anything wrong with that hit or not?
Don't ask AJ.
I'm probably the wrong guy to ask here, Chef. Yeah, I thought it was a great tackle. I understand he made contact with his head, but I feel like intent needs to be taken into consideration at some time.
The tough play. I don't know. That's not my area of expertise, but he's going to hit the guy. Like, I don't know how I guess you lead with your shoulder more. He's leading with his head a little bit.
Yeah, but
see it?
AJ thinks the thing wrong with that tackle is why did the shoulder even get in the way there?
Right.
He had a chance. That's how AJ thinks. And that's
I think Derwin's like at an angle falling down too. That's much different than if you're coming downhill and you take not a cheap shot, but you have somebody that cannot protect themselves.
Yeah.
I think it's different.
I think
that's a great point. That's a great point. Like how do you make sure he's coming in to hit him right here as opposed to right here?
Yeah.
Again, I've never made a tackle, so I don't know. But in real time and real speed, I can't imagine that that's a simple thing to do.
You never played tackle football growing up?
Pat, my mom would never let me. I always wanted to.
Where you hurt people?
You'd be in the window, like Schefter in the window, watch people play tackle football outside. And
I always wanted to, and my mom and dad wouldn't let me. They just wouldn't let me.
You've never tackled a person ever in your life? Never? You've covered football?
I've tackled people, Pat. Yes, I've done that. Yes.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Can we get you in full pads this offseason?
Absolutely.
Please.
That's what it takes. I'm sure I'll incur some type of significant injury, but I am willing to do that for the sake of laughing at myself and have fun. Yes.
No, you're going to injure somebody else. Because we saw you run that 40. You can run.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You can stride. You can move.
Yeah. The Lambeau leap.
Lambeau leap, you got hops. So you combine the run with the leap, and then you just go Rydell to Adam's apple. That's what you're kind of looking for. And then we'll have you have a tackle on tape.
Yeah, easy.
Need you to have that. But back to your point about with Derwin James and the whole thing, that seems like a pretty standard tackle. Like maybe they'll be able to call 15 because there is helmet-to-helmet contact. So for them to get suspended for that, obviously a lot of people are very confused. Now.
Well, I also would say if he had no history, if there were no history with that player, I don't think he would have been suspended for that hit.
Yeah, that's what my source said, too. And it sounds like we have maybe a similar source that gave you more information than me, though.
What?
You hear that 15 players. I got
it's a ton.
I got similar players. So there's 14 others. Or is it 15 plus Derwin? Is it Derwin plus 15?
I was told there were roughly 15 players. I don't know whether that's 18 or 14 or 17, but roughly 15 players.
How many? How was the text leading up to it? How long was the message? Because we can start. Are they trying to round down? Or are they trying to round up? Are they trying to sell?
The funny thing about it is, like right before the opener, I remember talking to a coach, and the coach is like, "Hey, what do you know about this letter?" I'm like, "What letter?" And he's like, "Yeah, the league sent out letters to some teams here, players." And so that was one of my sources. And I'm like, so I started making some calls. Okay, what do we know about this thing? And was able to come up with the fact that a bunch of players, roughly 15, got warned. Players, I think you can look at any player that has had any sort of history with controversial hits. And we all know some of the guys that have been involved in them. Like, I called around to see, like, Mike Evans has been involved in fighting. I thought he might have gotten notice, but he hadn't. So that was a player who wasn't on the list, despite the fact that there have been numerous run-ins with Marshawn Lattimore. How many times have those two guys been at it on the sidelines? It's always great theater. But he was not notified by the league, despite the fact that there have been some instances of
so you can find out what players are on the league. Let's just send 1,000 asks.
Look up who all got fined last year for head-to-head contact. That would narrow it down a bit.
Oh, yeah, because those are probably
I included some names in the story of guys like I guarantee you Kareem Jackson got warned.
Sure.
Okay. I guarantee he got warned.
Okay.
He would be one that got warned because of his history. Any player with a history like that, I'm sure was notified and is included in that group of roughly 15 players.
I wonder how many safeties, linebackers. I'll be excited to see.
Yeah, probably more safeties, right?
Yeah, but then is there D linemen? Yeah, I would assume more safeties because of those types of plays right there and everything like that. But what if
any running backs for lowering their head? Is there any running backs on that list you think for lowering their head?
That's all the time.
I do not know that. I do not know. I tried to get the list. I was not able to get the full list.
Oh, maybe we'll try.
You'll get it.
Maybe your sources are better than mine.
Yeah. Source. They would have multiple. We only got one. Let's stick with this team here. Justin Herbert obviously has an ankle injury that we've all seen kind of linger over the last couple of weeks. He had Cam Hayward landed on his ankle this past week against the Steelers. He ends up leaving the game. It looks bad. I mean, he's obviously laboring around. They got the Kansas City Chiefs without Derwin James. Then they have a bye week. They could steal 2 weeks here for Justin Herbert and just play Heineke and just kind of say it's the Chiefs, or that is not the case at all. This is Harbaugh's first year.
I don't think they think like that. And I don't think Justin Herbert thinks like that. Like, here's a guy who's played through a torn labrum, he's played through cracked ribs, he's played through finger injuries, he tried to play last week. The problem this week, I see, not only do you have the bye, but Joe Alt's not going to be out there at left tackle. Rashawn Slater's not going to be out there at right tackle. So now you're sticking a quarterback who's got a high ankle sprain that got worse last week behind a patchwork offensive line. That's not a great combination going into the bye week. And so I believe that if Justin Herbert feels like he's healthy enough, if he can go out and protect himself here, that somehow he'll find a way to be out there, because that's usually what he does. But I also think it's interesting that when they started practice the last 2 days, he wasn't spotted either day at practice, but then ultimately was listed as a limited participant on both days. So I think that there's probably some gamesmanship going on here, probably, but Justin Herbert's as tough as they come, and if he's going to have a chance to play, he's going to try to do it.
No tackles. Derwin James is out. I know it's division rival.
Of course.
Chiefs, and they always play Chiefs very, very well. But it's like quarterback, long season. I'm intrigued to see how it all goes. Is bye week enough for Justin Herbert potentially? You know, that's like 2 weeks potentially of not
bye week plus no tackles, protecting you.
Yeah.
Lack of tackles on both sides.
Yeah,
that's tough business to be in.
That is a tough business to be in. That's
against a good defense too.
Almost feels like the NFL.
What's the NFL?
What's the NFL? Is the NFL doing this on purpose? Never mind. We're not going to dive too deep in that. What's the script say, Schefter? He seems like you got good sources. Go ahead, AJ.
Shefty is somebody that doesn't get talked about a bunch right now, but Tua, any kind of update on him? Has he seen this doctor yet? Like, do we have any kind of timetable? Have you heard anything from his camp?
Was supposed to spend this week meeting with the doctors, but I think without knowing what was said between the doctors and Tua this week, I think here's what you could deduce going into that it was going to take somebody stepping in and being adamant, Tua, you cannot play. Tua, you can't do this, because his mindset all along has been that he wants to continue playing. That's just the way that he's thought. Now, is there going to be enough information or tests going to be conclusive enough that some doctor, some family member, some friend is going to step in and say, Tua, this isn't happening? And I don't have the answer to that. I don't know what those conversations are that have occurred or will occur in the days and weeks to come. But I know this is a guy that every time he's been through a situation like this, no matter the severity of it, he has been determined to continue playing. And that's something that's been a part of his life as long as he's known. It's in his blood. It's what he's trained to do. And my guess is that's what he's going to want to keep doing, is keep playing. So unless somebody's going to step in and block him and shut that down, that would be my sense of how this is going to play out.
Schefter, we were told that he wasn't gonna play again.
No,
remember?
no chance.
There's no chance.
Who said that?
Everybody on television that talks about sports, basically, except for our show.
Well,
literally
listen, it's his life and his decision, his brain, right? Like, you look at it and you say,
not everybody.
I mean, you say, come on, like, let's be smart about this.
Agreed.
On the one hand, but it's not our life; it's his life and his decision.
No.
And he gets to meet with these neurologists and come to the conclusion that he believes is best. Yeah. Now, we all look at it from afar and say that's crazy. Like, what are you doing here, man? Like, it's enough. But that's not the way that some people think.
Yeah, some people whose entire life and passion have gone to one thing and haven't been able to win the thing that they are being paid. Like, it's just the immediate reaction of like, he can't play, shouldn't play, won't play ever again. And I respect.
Well, that's the world we live in.
I agree. The people saying he shouldn't play, I respect. Okay, because you're doing it out of a place of empathy. I believe. But people saying like he can't or won't play ever again, it's like, I think you're wrong. Like, because getting a doctor to tell him that he can't play is obviously, I guess, possible. I guess you could but then he'll go to another doctor if he wants to play. If he wants to.
Of course, and Teddy Bruschi pointed that out on Sunday NFL Countdown. Doctors don't operate in black and white. Doctors operate in gray. You know, they give you the range of outcomes and let the person make the decision about what they believe is best for them. And so, you know, there may be a doctor who says, look, Tua, I don't think this is a good idea. I think that you're putting yourself at risk. But there may be another doctor, to your point, that says, hey, if you feel like you want to play, you know, go ahead out there. And then there's also the financial component of this, right? Like if there's a doctor out there, one of the team doctors says, hey, he's okay to play, and then he decides he doesn't want to play, then the money's at risk. Now, again, money's not driving this decision, but
the team doctor, that would be bad, especially with everything that happened with Stephen Ross. If Tua didn't want to play and the team doctor was like, nah, he's good, that would be and then they took money from him. Boy, that would be beef. That would be a massive.
Well, there's so much sentiment out there. So many people who believe that Tua shouldn't play, and so if he doesn't,
doctors. Or you're talking about
no, all the internet doctors and all the media experts out there saying, you know, he shouldn't play, shouldn't be doing this, shouldn't be doing that. And then if he decided that he wasn't going to do that, and the Dolphins tried to use, that wouldn't play well.
Yeah, that would be loud. Yeah, that would be very. What I'm saying though is, like, we agree that those are scary things to happen. And I've had a friend, because of concussions, have to retire and everything, but that was on him deciding to retire. It's like. We've all, I think, I don't know about you, Schefter, but like we've all had friends that have potentially been, addicted to something. And then you tell them like, hey, you should go do something. It's not until they want to, get off that it's a thing. It's like football and your passion and your livelihood and everything you're going to make money is very similar. So like if Tua wants to play football again and he feels like he can play football again and everything like that, he's going to find a doctor that's going to say, yeah, we are not hurt.
There you go.
You know what I mean? Like, I think personally. Now, with that being said, is it going to be hard for him to find a doctor to do that? I don't know. Like, is there going to be a lot of doctors that are just like, from the tests we've run, yes, you certainly have had a few concussions, but we think you're good. I guess we don't know. He was able to meet with the neurologist though, because I remember last time he came on, it was like missed schedule, missed time. They weren't able to get on, right? Wasn't it, Gumpy?
Yeah.
What was the
thing? Those meetings were lined up for this week. I have not heard that they didn't happen, but those meetings were scheduled for this week.
The schedule's aligned for the brain to be seen.
They better have had a meeting.
Well,
all right? There better have been a meeting, okay? We worried about this guy or not? We're about his health, want to play football, want to enjoy his life?
There's a hurricane.
What about the week before? We got scheduling problems every week.
Well, they wanted his brain to really,
He went to Seattle.
See Moana.
Hey, flew Seattle. It's a long flight, Seattle.
Yeah.
Maybe the altitude will help out with the recovery. Sure. You know, maybe that'll be something. Speaking of recovery, okay, here's a good story that is brewing. Tua, do whatever the hell you think's best for you, brother. Yep. Stone Cold Steve Austin says.
Well, I don't believe in it, kid.
All right. Anyways, that's from a documentary. And there's other documentaries that go the complete opposite. We were just telling you what Stone Cold Steve Austin said. Christian McCaffrey, this story, fascinating. Because it kind of pops up out of nowhere for us. Not you maybe, but for us and the fans. People drafted Christian McCaffrey to their fantasy teams and then find out, wait a minute, no, his tendonitis or arthritis of his Achilles that we didn't know was Achilles is hurting more than ever. He's going to be out. Then he's on IR. Then we hear he's going overseas. And then we did a little research. Well, what's available over there? I guess there is anti-inflammatory treatment that's available in Germany that isn't available in America. PRP is available in America. This one's called like Regenicon or Ocon or something like that.
I believe.
They're able to do something to the blood and put it back in there differently. We don't know what he did, but these are all things that are being thrown out there. Now there's conversation trying to get him back sooner than later, I think was the quote that I saw from Kyle Shanahan floating around. Where do we sit with Christian McCaffrey, his future in this season?
Well, I mean, they asked Kyle Shanahan this week, is there any idea in your mind that he could sit out the season? And that idea seemed foreign to him, like the idea never crossed his mind. They have felt like they want to slowly try to ramp him up to get him back to being on the football field. He went on IR, which automatically sidelined him for 4 weeks. So that kind of takes it out of everybody's hands. And again, that was really a natural course of events here, because you had a player who sat out the majority of training camp, who came back to practice and then felt more discomfort than he had at any point. So obviously there's an issue. There's an issue there. And McCaffrey's so dedicated. This isn't the first time that he's been to Germany, to go through. This is a guy that always is dedicated and committed to doing whatever he can to get himself the best medical attention and to get him on the football. It's so important to him. It means so much to him that he's always going to do whatever he can to get back out there. And let's keep in mind, I also think he probably feels, first and foremost, that's what he does. It's who he is. He wants it. Yeah, they redid his contract. Like, he feels, I'm sure, a certain sense of obligation to get out there to justify that he's worth what this team invested in him as well. So, again, I think the plan right now is that they're going to start ramping him up here at some point in time in the coming weeks, and that they hope and think that he can get back there. I guess just from a common sense standpoint,
okay,
you can just say, we don't know what's going to happen here with him. Okay. You just don't know, because he took off time during training camp, came back, and was worse off. Okay, so now he's taking off more time. He's getting treated. He's going to come back, and let's see how he's feeling at that point in time, right?
Yeah,
we don't, like, he might be better. He might not. We don't know. But in their minds, they're thinking, they're expecting him to come back here in weeks, whether that's 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, whatever that is.
Whoa.
We don't know. Nobody, they don't know.
9, 10.
They don't know.
Okay, so I think there's good news in this entire story, though.
What's the good news?
Well, I think there's good news in this entire story. What he's doing is an anti-inflammatory thing, allegedly, if what we have been told is happening. Not illegal, just isn't performed in the United States. A lot of people go over to get this done. This is
Kobe Bryant did, right?
Kobe, numerous. I think there's been numerous people that have gone over there, because I think there's an FDA thing on our side that I guess it makes sense from their standpoint, but Germans are like, nah, it's okay. Yeah, we could do that.
Happens a lot.
Yeah, on a very regular basis, I think that particular thing is happening, and that's not what you're talking about. But in Germany, there's a medical procedure called orthokine, in which anti-inflammatory factors are removed from the patient's blood, manipulated, and then re-injected into the painful areas. It is an anti-inflammatory treatment used to suppress back and joint pain. By admission of its proponents, it is only an anti-inflammatory and not a healing remedy. So whenever you think about arthritis, it's like, okay, so something's inflamed, they feel as if. So that's why the rest thing through training camp and then coming back and not feeling good is interesting, because why is it still inflamed if you haven't been doing anything on it? But at least it's kind of like, hey, this isn't a healing or a surgery. This is we're trying to soothe an area right now. It's like all very fascinating to kind of watch unfold. And let's stick with that team. Kittle's back though, right? Kittle's back full?
Yeah, it sounds like he's on track to play this weekend, yes.
Debo? Where are we at with everybody?
It sounds like he's got a real chance to play as well. Like, I won't be surprised if Kittle and Debo are both out there on Sunday against New England.
Okay. All right, congrats to the San Francisco 49ers on that. Good luck to Christian McCaffrey in his recovery. And to you saying this is who he is, he's going to leave no stone unturned. He is so jacked. From a family of people, he's so jacked.
He's so serious about that. I respect it. Like, there is not a player in the league that's more dedicated and committed to his craft and his body than Christian McCaffrey. Like, there are a lot of people that take it seriously. This guy is ultra serious about it.
Well, and then you go through and I'm sure there's people that are listening right now that are in the league going, shut up, Schefter. You have no idea what I do. I bathe in my own pee.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's...
Whoa. We know one.
Well.
Hey.
That's what they do.
You're pointing to Schefty, right? Pointing to Schefty?
I got peed on last night, Pat.
Uh-oh.
By who?
Big swag.
Here's
Who
the
did
deal.
it?
No, here's the deal. We got 5 dogs at home, right? 3 of them are not doing well. 3 of them in their later years. So I'm watching the Giant Cowboys game. It's about 11:10 Eastern, and my oldest dog, 18 years old, she's blind, she's deaf. She comes wandering into the den. I'm like, oh, and I see her like go to squat down to go pee. I'm like, no. I pick her up. Ella, don't pee. I pick her up in my arms, but it was too late. She started peeing. So she peed all over herself and me last night. Right when the game, I missed the final 30 seconds. So did the Cowboys win? Is that what happened?
No, yeah, they won by 5, not by 8. Brandon Aubrey missed. Hey, you're a good dog dad there, Bob.
Yep.
Good dog
Did you
dad.
hold her?
Yeah, we
You didn't
had
throw
to
her down,
give
did
Ella
you?
a bath. We had to give Ella
Dropped
a
her.
bath at 11:15. She peed all over herself. It was all over me. It was great. It was a great way to end the night.
Hey, you're a loving dog dad. I appreciate that. You need to, when you first tell us these things, though, you need to phrase it. The phrasing there.
A little differently.
Because there's a
Yeah,
full
you thought that was going in a different direction, didn't you?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
We did, Schefter. We thought you were taking golden showers for dinner last night.
It wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't going that way.
Respectfully, of course.
Happy to hear that. Anyways,
Whatever you like.
on the flip side, though, when you talk about Christian McCaffrey, if that's whatever. You do whatever you got to do. Every day on his journal, golden shower.
Yep.
Again. Anyways, that's not happened. That's not what happened. These are things that all of our brains ran through. Christian McCaffrey, dad, obviously, NFL superstar. I think his mom and his grandparents, all Olympians too. His entire family is Olympians. A little brother.
Brother now?
Obviously
Yeah,
going crazy for the Commanders and Cliff Kingsbury over there. It's like, I respect the fact, he does very much. That arthritis on the Achilles, though, I haven't heard of much. I'm interested to see how it all goes. Yeah. Christian will get through it. We hope so. Congrats to Debo and Kittle into the Niners. Let's go to the Green Bay Packers. Ty has a question for you.
Yeah, Schefter, I think the way the line opened up earlier this week would indicate that Jordan Love is going to play this weekend against the Vikings, but the Packers have been pretty coy. He's still listed as questionable. And then on the other side, I believe Sam Darnold also listed as questionable with a knee bruise. Are all signs pointing to us getting Love versus Darnold on Sunday, or what are you hearing?
Well, I think we're getting Darnold for sure. And my guess and sense is we get Love. But I think they just want to see how he gets through the week. They want to see how his knee responds. Matt LaFleur yesterday said that they're ready to take this up to game time because there's really no benefit in them saying right now, okay, well, Jordan looks and feels great and he's starting. They're just not going to do that. And I think part of that is gamesmanship and part of it is they do want to make sure with the conservative training staff that they have, AJ knows that well, that he is okay to play on Sunday. So my guess and sense is, yes, it'll be Jordan Love, but I don't think it's certain just yet.
Okay. I just got my source says it's not about Jordan Love. This is back to the Derwin James suspension. Breaking. Pat Freiermuth was on the appeal call and said he didn't think it was a dirty hit.
Wow.
Well, he's a dog.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Beat you, Schefty.
Oh, not a golden shower.
By the way, it didn't do very much good, did it?
Okay. All right. Sorry you didn't break the news, Schefter. Jeez, but I do.
No, Pat.
Freiermuth.
If the appeal had been overturned, and the reason it had been overturned was because Pat Freiermuth got on there and defend, that would have been a great story. But
instead,
again, here's the hit.
All right.
Here's the hit, and according to your sources, Pat Freiermuth came to Derwin James' defense, but obviously the NFL didn't buy that, and so he remained suspended for one game. It's a good little note. I applaud you.
Thank you. Add the little nugget to your stories when you're writing.
Yeah,
okay, let's give proper credit, shall we? Boston Connor has a question for you, Shefty.
Yeah, Shefty, can you get a wellness checkup in Chicago? There's been some tweets talking about how, the Caleb and Waldron situation, kind of friendship, might not be going too hot. And then, of course, when that happens, old clips come out of players. There was one from the Super Bowl of Jackson Smith and Jigba talking about Waldron. What's going on up there? And are we looking at Chicago as one of those places where there might be some turnover going into next year?
Oh, no, not again.
Uh-oh.
Well, we got Connor turning up the heat on the Bears early in the season. Look,
not me. Just telling you what people are saying.
Listen, the Bears right now are being maligned. They're struggling early on, and so I think there were questions about the future of that franchise after last season. They kept things in place. They changed the offensive coordinator. It's 3 games in. It hasn't gone the way that I think they would like. I still think it takes time. When did C.J. Stroud start dialing it up last year in his rookie year? He started
week 1.
Yeah, and Daniel's
week 1. He was C.J. Stroud, C.J. Stroud the way he was all year long.
We're only in the second year of C.J. Stroud. Yeah, we're only 3 weeks into second year C.J. Stroud. So you saying he was week 1 C.J. Yeah, that's not that long ago. Yeah, he was.
No, my point is, it felt like it took a little bit before we knew. Oh my God!
Week two. Diggs is saying officially week 2.
Yeah, he struggled against Baltimore week 1. Lost to the Colts week 2, but he had 2 touchdowns, no interceptions.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought.
I mean, again,
that's what I thought. Thank you.
It's 3 games. It's a new offensive coordinator. It's a new system. Let's see how it goes over a little bit. Let's not judge them after 3 games. Let's be a little patient.
My source, we do that. That's the purpose of talk shows. Which is rude. I don't like it. I don't like. We try to be positive as possible. Our source says they're also saying the vets, I guess, sat down in Chicago with Shane Waldron and had a meeting. It's like this is very early for all this.
Well, he put everything on the board that he screwed up this week. He's like, here's where I was wrong. Here's what I could have done better. And he's like, if the players are going to be accountable, I'm going to hold myself accountable. And he couldn't have been any more transparent to the team than he was this past week by showing the things that he felt like he did wrong, and they were obviously considerable.
Okay, so I respect that. Right. Maybe this is a unifying operation up there in Chicago. It's going to be tough for a rookie quarterback. I mean, except for C.J. Stroud, obviously, and maybe.
By the way, but C.J. Stroud, people.
Watch what you're saying here.
There's a warped sense of expectations. Like most rookie quarterbacks, almost every rookie quarterback does not play like that. So coming off a season like that, where he played as well as any rookie quarterback ever had, that's not realistic to expect for rookie quarterbacks. But what is realistic to expect is you see enough signs of hope. You see enough flashes of talent. You see enough signs of progress that you could say, this guy's got it. This guy's going to be a big-time quarterback. Like, you could see certain things all along. It's passing an eye test. And I believe that that'll happen with Caleb Williams, but it's just been a little bit slower through the first 3 games.
Agreed. If everything you're saying about judgment of rookie quarterbacks outside of C.J. Stroud just last year, Jaden Daniels will see with the Commanders this upcoming season that we're currently in right now. He looked phenomenal on Monday night. Now, will he be able to do that for the entirety of the season? That's kind of the rookie difference. Like good, bad, let's get through it. We hope Caleb in Chicago is able to do it. We hope they don't have turnover either because Bryce and Carolina, we won't want that. So that's why he was being a thermometer, not a thermostat. He was just telling you the temperature on the conversation in Chicago. Can you tell us the temperature on the conversation between Joe Burrow, Zach Taylor, Lou Anarumo when they go into that room after Monday night, in the office after Monday Night Football? Obviously, nobody in Bengals Houday Nation is happy about what's going on right now. How's that going over there? And what is the vibe? I know you're a big Bengals. I know the Bengals people love when you report on the Bengals. But
they love that, right?
Yeah.
What's up with that?
Us too. Hate us too. I don't know.
They're a little sensitive, Chef.
Yeah. Oh, whoa! I didn't say that. I would like that to be known. That was Tone Diggs, Pittsburgh Steelers fan, AFC North rival. That's how that's going to go.
Tone, why do you say that? Why do you say they're sensitive, Tone?
Well, Foxy said it so eloquently last week. When these teams that have not been great for a long, long time get good, like so when they went to the Super Bowl and stuff like that, and you don't talk about them the entire show, they feel slighted because they feel like they deserve to be talked about because they haven't been talked about in forever because they've never been really good.
I think what they're saying, though, is we point out a lot of potential negative stuff as opposed to pointing out all positive stuff. They've had a lot of negative stuff for a long time. We got positive stuff now. Why you still point out the negative stuff? It's like, well, the negative stuff is literally happening only in your building, nowhere else. But with that being said, Cincinnati Bengals, we all had high aspirations for. Joey B has a full training camp. T's back the other night. Jamar Chase gets his thing figured out. They're rolling, and now they're not. And what was that conversation about? Do we have any more information? And how do we feel?
Well, I don't know the specifics of the conversation, but when a team starts 0-3, everybody's looking for answers, right? And I was talking to some people around that team this week, and they're like, that team will be fine. They're going to get it straightened out. Watch them finish 10-7. Now, we'll see. That's not a simple thing to do. That would mean they're going 10-4 down the stretch, which they're certainly talented and good enough to do. But when you lose a game at home, a Monday night game, to a team that you should be beating, I think everybody is searching for answers, right? Like, I mean, the facts are the fact. They got outplayed at home by the Washington Commanders on Monday Night Football when they're 0-2, when nobody was expecting that to be the case. Who thought that, outside of Chris Berman, who said on Sunday that the Commanders were going to win that game to me, outside of Chris Berman of the Swami, who thought that the the Commanders were going to go into Cincinnati and win that game.
I think Darius Butler was big. Big Jaden Dayton was about to go bananas tonight.
Oh, yeah.
I think he did, but we were not. We thought Cincinnati Bengals were going to be able to do Cincinnati Bengals stuff, and then you watch that Commanders team, and they're seeing some of the sideline stuff with Cliff Kingsbury and all the players. It's like, hold the phone, Dan Quinn. Yeah. Remember whenever he went in Dallas and was able to just do his thing?
Well, I can tell you this: they were a little bit worked up about the fact that they had been called a simple offense. You see that, Cliff Kingsbury there? That's what that's like. I was told that they were pretty insulted by that whole thing, and that it became a real point for them. Okay, you want to see a simple offense? We'll show you a simple offense, and that simple offense didn't punt against this Bengals.
2 weeks straight, yeah. So Cliff Kingsbury is what we like to call in his bag right now, but the weapons on that team, phenomenal. Mm-hmm. So whenever you say they shouldn't win that game, it's like we'll find out at the end of the year how this whole thing goes. But I agree that the Bengals are going to be able to figure it out. Feels like Dallas Cowboys are inching closer to potentially figuring it out, but then boom, carted out of the stadium. Tone has a question for you. Last one here, Schefter.
Yeah, big win for the Cowboys last night, but late in that fourth quarter, Micah Parsons goes out with, I believe it's being called a high ankle sprain. I know they have 10 days off. Is there any initial early reports on what's going on with Micah?
Well, that is the word, that it's an ankle sprain right now, so he's going to have more tests today. They got back really late last night. He'll have those tests today to determine if and when he'll miss time, how much time he'll miss, but that's going to be a problem. You see him limping there. That doesn't look like a guy that might be ready to play in 10 days from now.
Doesn't have anybody helping him, though, either. You know, he's dragging his own bags.
Yeah, carrying his own
No boot either.
Yeah, by the way, I mean, if they're going to get somebody to wipe Jerry's glasses, get somebody to carry Micah's bags.
Amen.
A lot of people saying that type of stuff about the Cowboys. But I think Micah, him dragging 2 bags around.
Yeah, we don't need Micah to be doing that. Get the glass wiper to go carry the bag. It's pretty simple.
Is he saying glass or ass?
Glass.
Oh, okay.
But there's one of those too.
No, we're not 100% sure of all the ins and outs of the situation, but obviously we'll get the test. We'll hear back. Micah Parsons, fun to watch. That defense played obviously better last night, even though the time of possession was completely different, getting a big-time win going forward. Last question, basically topic. Going into weekend, what's big thing we should be talking about? What are you talking about on Sunday during the countdown?
You know, I think you got all these quarterback questions that are going on right now in certain franchises, right? We got there's the big board, right? So we got, is Jordan Love playing? Is Justin Herbert playing? How is Justin Fields going to step in and try to lay claim to that job? With the Raiders, they're sticking with Gardner. How long? Like, again, we come back to the quarterbacks every time. And I know that on Sunday Countdown, we got a piece this week on the 2018 draft and how it's shaping this season, which it's pretty interesting to think about. Baker Mayfield goes number 1. Sam Darnold, who might be the comeback player of the year, goes number 3. Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen, also first-round picks. They meet Sunday night. Lamar wins MVP last year. Josh Allen could wind up winning MVP this year.
Wow.
So you got these quarterbacks from that 2018 draft class having a dramatic impact on this season, and we got a cool feature about that on Sunday Countdown that we were shooting yesterday. I know that.
I love that. And then you can talk about 2008 draft class, Andy Dalton back there, just absolutely spinning it and crushing it. We appreciate
I've always liked Andy Dalton as a quarterback, he's always been better than people realize, I think.
Absolutely.
And again, he showed that last weekend. The guy stepped in, and that was unbelievable to step in. And they look like a totally different team in offense. Totally different team.
Everybody was giving Andy Dalton his props after the game. He was dapping up everybody.
Deserves
having a
them.
good time. Hey,
deserves them.
Thank you for stopping by. Good luck on Sunday. You're the man. Ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, guys. Have a great weekend.
No urine on him today. Adam Schefter.
Yeah, Schefter.
Got peed on last night.
Per usual.
Excuse me?
Did he hold the dog through the whole pee is my question, or did he,
outside, I assume, or to whatever. Hour 2. On the other side, we'll have Nick Saban, Kalen DeBoer. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice that might change their life. There is a crowd of about 30 people moving through the back end of the business field here. And in the middle of it is this black Samoan man who has become the most famous human on earth.
Great guy.
Ladies and gentlemen, the GOAT, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. There's thousands and thousands of people skipping class to come see your big ass.
Listen, there is thousands and thousands of you skipping class. It doesn't matter if they go to class.
Moana is one of the best animated films of all time. Okay? Can't wait for the live action.
Thank you, yes.
But
You're welcome.
We talk about Moana.
What can I say except you're welcome?
And we talk about Moana.
Honestly, listen, kid, I could go on and on. I could explain every natural phenomenon. The tide, the grass, the ground. Oh, that was Maui just messing around. I could have let buried its guts, sprouted a tree, now you got coconuts. What's the lesson? What does it take away? Don't mess with Maui when he's on a breakaway. And the temperature here on my skin is a map of the victories I win. Look where I've been to make everything happen. Look at the me Maui just tickety-tapping. That's it.
Still got it.
On the Samoan side, Polynesian side, we have a word called mana. Mana is spirit. Mana is power. Mana comes from in here. It's the thing that gives you goosebumps. It's that thing you feel. It's that thing when I walked out and we felt this thing. This is mana. This is mana. It's very, very, very real, and you could feel it. Mwah. Little things like I don't get driven anywhere. I don't want to get driven anywhere. I don't like chauffeurs. Keeps me in my way just a little grounded. Like I could drive myself everywhere and not telling some guy, hey, take me here, take me there.
That is something I'm going to start saying, like, yeah. Because when they open your door, you feel so bad. I can open my own door, dude. They're trying to be courteous. It's their job. But also, the day I stop opening my own door is the day I become a big old bitch.
Here we go.
That's a big cup. Sorry, Mike.
And here's the iconic sound. You guys know it. This special Terramana toast goes out to Passion. Congratulations on your show. Very proud of you. Very proud of all you boys. And to all of you, love you guys. Thank you for the support. Keep kicking ass. Cheers. In my world, when I sit down and we're talking about movies and all this other shit, it's never this. It's never this, back with the boys, and you. So I appreciate it, and this one's to you. Thank you, boys.
See you, pal. Cheers.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to take a 5-minute break here.
Oh, hold on, one more. If you smell what The Rock is cooking.
The following program is a collection of stooges talking about happenings in the sports world. It is meant to be comedic informative. The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of their peers, their boss, or ESPN. There may be some cuss words because that's how humans in the real world talk. If you are young, please seek permission before watching any further.
Hey.
What?
Let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers.
You pig.
Damn it! Be a friend, tell a friend something nice could change their life. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Feel Good Friday, September 27, 2024. Hour 2 of the program starts now. Football is wonderful. That's AJ Hawk. The Toxic Table is here. He's offbeat. That's how it's going to be.
No effort.
He wants to be by himself.
It's no effort, though.
Let him be by himself. He's shining.
A lot of effort.
This guy's shining.
A lot of
he
hero
got
ball
he got
over
a push last night. Obviously picked the Cowboys by 5. They win by 5. He's feeling good, even though the line was 5.5. We're giving him a push. Vibes are high for AJ Hawk.
Good job, AJ.
Yep. Thank you.
Schefter was just having fun with you.
Yeah.
You guys.
You know,
Just dudes being dudes, man. That's all it is.
your guys' friendship is kind of blossoming on the screen. We're kind of seeing it.
Shefty's great. I've always liked Shefty. He's been the guy in that game for the last 40 years, I feel like.
I don't know if I always liked him. So, like,
When did you not like him, I guess is the question.
I think I didn't know him. Like, I just didn't have he was a Twitter account that just showed up.
Mm-hmm.
He was just a Twitter account that just showed up, so I had no feeling. And then Rap Sheet obviously was allowed to come on our show and came on our show, so Rap Sheet became like a close friend of ours. And then Rap Sheet got a daily show at the same exact time as our show. Whenever I stood on the table to be able to have Rap Sheet on our program, whenever our things, nothing, he's got to do what he's got to do. He got to host. So then Schefter starts joining our show, and it's like I didn't know what I was expecting. He shows up for us.
He does. Always.
Schefter shows up for us always, no matter what. In between his journaling and all his phone calls with everybody,
Shefty
and I
football.
guess, dog caretaking.
Right.
I appreciate the hell out of him. And watching you two have that little moment where you blushed a little bit, and he was kind of.
That was cool.
That was good.
That was a cool thing.
AJ got nervous.
He did.
Yeah.
We're just joshing.
Yep.
What I get nervous about?
Schefty was kind of applying a little.
Yeah, he
hey,
was.
we should be friends.
A little pressure.
Putting it on you.
Congrats to you guys. That's cool to see.
Yeah.
Talks the tables
Thank
here
you.
at Boss Connor, at Ty Schmidt. One half of the Hammer, Dahn. Cowboys, AP Tone is here. And ladies and gentlemen, joining us now is a man who won multiple NIAA championships. Then he moves up to the big leagues, they say. Well, you can do it down there. Can you do it up here? Yup, he did. Ends up being a head coach for Washington. In just 2 years, takes him to the national championship. How you doing? Keep it moving. Heisman contender and Penix and Odunze and the squad was lighting it up. And they were underdogs, and they won, and they won, and they won. Then they make it to the national championship. Then there's a job opening down in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Who used to coach that job? Oh, the greatest of all time. Who's prepared for it? Guy's been coaching for like 20 years, winning all the time. And he's doing the exact same thing for Alabama. Ladies and gentlemen, friend of the program, head coach of Alabama, Coach Kalen DeBoer. How you doing, man?
How you guys doing?
Hey, very, very, very good. Thank you so much for making time on this very busy Friday, I assume. All eyes are in Tuscaloosa. I thought there was going to be massive storms, so that's why the travel didn't work out. How is the weather down there? How should I be expecting to come in here in a few hours?
I think we're going to be good. Yeah, I was looking forward to seeing you, and I was wondering what happened, but you explained it. So I think we're going to be good. It's going to be a beautiful day, especially tomorrow. And we're ready to go.
Okay,
it'll be an awesome atmosphere.
How do you feel about this? Because the conversation, a big one, is and Kirby was even getting asked about it. It's like, hey, this is the first time you've taken on Alabama without Nick Saban. How is that? And obviously filling in for Nick Saban, and by filling in I mean becoming the head coach of Alabama after Nick Saban decides to retire and come do College Game Day, and he's phenomenal on that. Like, how has it been now that you're in we talked to you, I think, whenever it first happened, but now we're into the season, team's playing very well, all eyes are on Alabama. How has it been being the head coach of Alabama?
Yeah, I think there's different phases you go through, right? And the first one is just, I think the thing that it covers it all is it's still the work of being a head coach, and wherever you're at, there's the same thing, whether it's recruiting or, just bringing your team together, building a staff, all of it. I think no matter where you're at, it's all under that umbrella. And I think your question is alluding to all the other stuff that comes along with it. And that's been special. Our fan base and the passion that they have, our players, just all the different elements that come together. It's been fun to be a part of, and looking forward to all the great things that come along with the game day environment being here. That'll be not my first one overall, but my first one here, and it's going to be special. But yeah, Coach Saban's been great. I think he might even be joining you here too. So
Yes.
lot of things with Coach Saban being in the program. That not live up to, but just things that we want to continue to carry on when it comes to the tradition of excellence that existed here for so many years.
Yeah, the standard being the standard is something that some people who have massive egos wouldn't be able to handle. And I think, after getting to know you, you are very much just like, hey, football guy, love football. I'm here to coach football. I'm honored to be the guy that gets a chance to coach Alabama after Coach Saban, where some people would be like, this isn't Saban's era anymore. This is my era. I feel like that's why you were the perfect guy for the gig, and I think we all kind of said that as it was taking place. Let's talk about your team, and you talked about this the first game day at Alabama. We were in Washington last year, 8-hour flight. It's way out there. I mean, it's beautiful. It is beautiful out there, but game day was out there, getting to experience that. Game day is going to be there this week, but whenever you become the head coach and they give it to Saban, there's like a 2-week period where people are allowed to just pluck your roster, pretty much. Just boom, bang, pow. With how much success you've had this year, I think Alabama fans were expecting it, but a lot of people outside were like, it might take a little bit here for DeBoer to be able to get this squad to what a DeBoer squad kind of looks like. How do you feel about where your team is? How do you feel about where your roster is? And the vets that stuck around, what is your message to them whenever you talk to them?
Yeah, that time back then in January, that was an intense time, probably one of the most intense times I've probably ever been through, as far as just the reality of your roster and trying to keep it together. But we were fortunate to have a lot of great staff that really helped guide these guys, helped kind of calm the storms that were happening. And then, of course, just our players. They did such a great job of really believing in this place, believing that we would get through it, and believing in themselves. And, there was some unfinished business. I think a lot of them hung their hat on that. And just as far as where we're at, I think we've filled in many of the holes that probably existed, and those guys have performed. We're kind of a mix of older guys, but we are playing a lot of younger guys. We have some true freshmen that are out there on both sides of the ball and doing a great job for us. And it's a tribute to the depth that was here in the program, that was recruited here, for us to be able to just continue on and feel like we're in a good spot, and we'll find out more about who we are as we go through the SEC schedule that starts tomorrow.
Keeping those guys and making them believe in your vision is a whole different ball game, and we're learning about it at every school. Couldn't even imagine at Alabama. Go ahead, AJ.
Coach, obviously Jalen Milroe, the quarterback, sticks around for you. Like, how beneficial was that for you, knowing that, hey, this is a position I don't have to worry about? We know NFL, college, if you don't have a quarterback, like, it's tough to win games. Like, what has he meant for you and for that whole program?
Yeah, he and a few of the others, I think, just really collectively were integral. And from the quarterback position, as you're mentioning, so important to just kind of know who that guy is. He had some experience now last year where he really went through the fire. And I think, that off season where he could really have some perspective, take these next steps. It's been really fun being a part of the journey here over the last 9 months with him.
Coach, Tone Diggs has a question for you, brother.
Yeah, Coach, I know, your last two quarterbacks, Penix and Jake Kaner at Fresno, were both athletes. But Jaden Milroe is just a different athlete. So my question to you, do you like having that extra aspect to Milroe's game where obviously he can throw the ball, and Penix was an athlete as well and could run, but not like Jalen Milroe. Do you like having that extra addition to the offense?
Yeah, it starts with the pass game first. I think just feel like you recruit skill players, you recruit, running backs, tight ends, receivers, all of those guys to be able to distribute the ball and be a part of an offense that can stretch the field horizontally, vertically. So you have to be able to get the ball to those guys. But I think the added element when you have it, and especially a guy like Jalen, it just really can make you, super hard to defend. And, just balancing all of it is the trick, right? And, trying to maximize what he can do, but also keep everyone else involved. That's the balancing act.
I love the way he plays. He's electrifying.
Yeah.
Freight train. He could take over at any point with his legs. And then obviously, Gravedigger last year against Auburn puts it in an absolute bucket. Him sticking around, showcasing his leadership. Every day, I guess, he's great to be around. I guess his vibes are immaculate too, Coach, from what I've been told.
He's a hard worker. He's in here 4:30, 4:45 every morning, and just relentless. And we talk about the pursuit of continuous improvement, and that is him, to a T. Just every day, bringing his best. Smile on his face. He's here to impact others. He understands his platform. Just the role model that you want any son, daughter to look up to, and working alongside of him just every day. He wants to get better, and he's taking it all in, taking everything we're throwing at him. It's a joy every day.
He's awesome. He's absolutely awesome. And we saw that video of that little girl. Her name was Susanna. Susanna was her name.
Yep.
Yeah, and she said her favorite player was Jalen Milroe. And obviously, there was a little bit more chaos on the play. She went through the adversity, got the ball back, ends up scoring a touchdown. Place goes crazy. It's like these moments, whenever you see it behind the scenes, like sports are a beautiful thing. And your team, seemingly great humans, in this video. I think you should be phenomenally proud of the locker room you're leading, and obviously Milroe's at the front of that. Let's talk about the game tomorrow. Big one. Hey, big one. Go. This is a January game. This is a December game happening in September. Now, on that note, Connor has a question for you.
Yeah, Coach, obviously you and Georgia both had bye weeks, last week, so you're coming off a 2-week rest. Is that something that, you like, or is it one of those things where you guys were so hot that you kind of have to take a break? And is it hard not to over-prepare for a massive game like this? Because like Pat mentioned, this is like an SEC championship, damn near a playoff game in September, which is awesome for the watcher, but I assume it's a little tough for you guys preparing for it.
Yeah, I think the timing of where it's at, and you just take it because it's the schedule and you can't do anything about it. So I think it's still good, though, because we've had fall camp 4 weeks plus the 3 weeks of games. Just mentally, physically, it's a great time to have a bye. Now, in preparation for this game, I think you take a lot of what you're talking about, playoff type or, postseason type scheduling, and you make sure that you don't try to do too much, and give the guys that little break. And we did that last week early on, but then start ramping it up. And I think we got a good build up going into to tomorrow, and just making sure, again, you hone in on what you do best. Really trying to dial that in. That's what we've been trying to do all week long.
What are the labor laws down there? Ryan Williams, 17 years old?
That's right. Yeah.
This kid, what's a boy? How's this happen? Coach, how's this happen? He is phenomenal. And Ohio State has a freshman, too, that is just like Smith, Jeremiah, who's an absolute beast. It's like this 17-year-old kid's all over the field, and he doesn't look like he's undersized or anything. He looks like he's 25 years old out there. What a weapon, Coach. What an absolute story, too. 17-year-old taking over.
It's really cool. And what you really try to guard against, especially early on, is too much hype.
This guy, the greatest 17-year-old in the history of college
Hall
ball.
of Famer.
I'm sorry.
But the summer before he's even played one play, fall camp, and you can see each and every day what he's capable of, the plays he's making, and being around him, then you can just see the mindset he has and how impressive it is considering his age and the experiences or lack of experiences he's been through. But he's made the plays, and it's fun to talk about him because he is a team guy. He just, he got a lot of pride in who he is. He's got a great way about him, but the team just respects him so much because of how he's handled all the attention already that he's getting, and he just loves ball. And it comes out every day through his work.
I love watching him play ball.
Mm-hmm. It's incredible.
Guys, homecoming was 2 weeks ago in high school. It's probably where he should have been. It's absurd. Instead, he's scoring 2 tuds down in Tuscaloosa in front of Dixieland Delight. I couldn't even fathom that. What an absolute monster on the field. Go ahead, AJ.
Coach, when your game day atmosphere, I know you're aware of it, but it's awesome there. We were able to go last year. I know you weren't the coach at the time. But what does that mean for you guys? Obviously, Georgia coming in there. Like, that whole – I don't know. I guess I was not expecting it to be as unbelievable as it was, even though I know the history and tradition. But your guys' game day, what you're doing, I feel like is a huge advantage. That's something that you take a hand and you have any part in?
I think a lot of the traditions have been put in place, and I think they're really good. So you don't change much of that, if any. And so I think for our guys, it really, they kind of, once they get to the stadium, we have our Walk of Champions. That's when they really feel the environment, the atmosphere, and of course, getting on the football field and add to it through their play. But it is an amazing environment from everything that I've heard, because I really don't get to see much of it either before we get there. But it's special. You can feel the buzz in the community, and it doesn't just on Saturday. It starts well before that, earlier in the week.
Allegedly, Miss Terry, I don't want to say founder of Game Day Ops, but allegedly founder of Game Day Ops.
Legend.
Goes to all the other games in other stadiums, and they're like, why don't we, we need a little of this, we need a little of that, let's get our lights. And it was very well run, AJ. I think that's our biggest takeaway.
A great mix, right? It was a great mix of keep the history, tradition of what it is, but also hey, we're evolving, we're going to play music, we're going to manipulate the lights. It's a great mix of everything.
And the MC didn't suck. And that's a big part. The MC is a massive piece of that. If they suck, the whole show is bad. MC crushed it. The light show was on. Back in the day, they turned the lights off. We need to wait 15 minutes. These lights are coming back.
Yeah, what the hell?
Do you remember that, Coach?
You're right.
Yeah, I do. I've seen that, and I've seen them not turn back on. Yeah. So, but that's all good. Yeah, it's pretty special. All the things, and a lot of people working together to make a great environment.
Absolutely, make the place bananas. Let's talk about tomorrow's game. Obviously, your defense. I mean, you watch Kentucky. What happens to Georgia? I think it was 13-12, whatever. It was a very low-scoring, cagey affair with Kentucky. And do you watch a lot of that film? Do you expect the same team? Because it feels like early in this college season, there's been, for almost everybody, seemingly at this point, ups and downs. How do you prepare for tomorrow? What do you expect for tomorrow? And what are you hoping your team does to make sure you get the win at home tomorrow?
Yeah, I think the part you said there, it's early in the season. And so there is, every team is still trying to, work out the kinks and try to, you hope you have a really good sense of what your identity is, but sometimes it's a little different than even what you thought. And you're trying to build that. And the Kentucky game against Georgia, just extremely physical. And you certainly do look at that and you try to take from it, but you also know, especially with a bye week here, that Georgia's going to continue to evolve, continue to understand what they do well, and find the ways that they feel that they can attack us the best. And so you look at that game, but you got to look at also more things. There was a game played, obviously last fall, December, the championship, and there's some, a lot of the same personnel on both sides and scheme as well. Of course, offensively, defensively, we're a little different, but we're going to take the things from that and add to everything else we're putting in when it comes to the game plan.
We can't wait to watch your team tomorrow. Congrats on everything. Your story is awesome. Down there at the bottom on the graphic, 107-12.
Jeez.
That's pretty good.
Dude, you found your calling. And I'm excited to get down to your town tomorrow. You're the man. We appreciate it.
Yeah. Looking forward to seeing you. Thanks a lot, guys.
Good luck. Coach Kalen DeBoer.
Yeah, Coach.
107-12.
It's pretty good.
Pretty good.
Not bad.
119 times he goes out onto the field to coach it. 107 times they win. That is absurd. Talk about like the perfect person to go in after Saban.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Been there, done that. NAIA coach, loves ball, committed to ball, loves team building, understands the modern day, though, was able to do it with Washington literally just last year in 2 years of being out there with that program. And then you think about the other side, this Georgia team.
Kirby's going to be on that ass.
And I saw, he is. He certainly is. This is going to be a welcome, to the SEC in a big way, and this is a welcome to Georgia Bama and everything. I listened back to the SEC championship pick from game day. It was kind of put. It was kind of put onto.
Watched it a couple times.
Onto my algorithm a couple times.
Yeah, I saw that too.
And whenever you think about literally all the things I said, back-to-back national champs, 29 straight wins. What's that coming down the track is how I start that thing.
Yeah.
And obviously I black out in the moment, so I don't remember it exactly. But watching it back, that was a pretty cool moment. Lucky to be a part of in the entirety of that situation. Them not making it to the playoff. Okay, 29 straight, back-to-back national champs. Them losing that one game. That's it. This is the only blunder. And not making it into the college football playoff and not being allowed to be mad about it because the Florida State people were, remember?
Yeah,
they were the one.
Florida State were screwed. Think about what Kirby has been doing to that team. Carson Beck. Now, obviously Kentucky, they might be a phenomenal football team. That's legit. And there is a chance that whenever it's all said and done, that game that happened 2 weeks ago against Kentucky is a very good win because what Kentucky's going to go on. But there's people that are thinking maybe the Dogs aren't as, as we thought they were going to be because of that 1 week. And then all of a sudden, what's their next opportunity? Alabama, in Alabama. Just from what we know of Kirby, that pregame speech, everything he's been saying to this Georgia Dogs team, DeBoer and the boys are in for a fight tomorrow in Tuscaloosa.
Oh, yeah, bloodbath.
They know it. Jalen knows it. Kirby knows it. And it's like every player that's walking onto that field understands that this is a lot bigger than just 1 week in September here. This is a massive part of this entire season storyline. And college football is throwing its fastball. Continue week in, week out. Joining us now, ladies and gentlemen, the greatest college football coach of all time. We just had DeBoer on. Rest in peace to DeBear. Ladies and gentlemen, the GOAT, Nick Saban.
Yeah, Coach.
How we doing today, guys?
Coach, good to see you down there in Tuscaloosa, far from your home. Are you in your office currently? Is that where you are?
No, this used to be the staff room, and they kind of remodeled it to make it like a little bit of a recruiting holding room, but it's a very impressive room. I'm like, why didn't we do this?
Okay. All right, so let's talk about that. We just talked to Coach DeBoer, and he obviously chatted about a lot of the traditions and players and had massive respect for you. And we actually told him that we thought he was one of the only people that would be the perfect fit following in your shadow, in your footsteps. You have to be very confident in yourself. You got to be very humble. I think you got to love ball. He's all of those things. Plus, with the modern touch, was able to give Washington, obviously, the national championship. How do you feel about what DeBoer's doing there? And is there any weirdness between you two at all?
None at all. He's done a fabulous job, in my opinion, of transitioning, because this is probably one of the most difficult things to, if you take over an unsuccessful program, everybody welcomes the change, everybody welcomes the new hope that is created by having a new coach. But when you take over a successful program, how are people going to respond to you, and how are you going to be accepted, and how is the changes you make going to be accepted? But he's shown no ego and taken over. He and I have a really good relationship, and the changes that he's made still put his sort of stamp on things. So I've been really impressed with him. I think maybe he's one of the few guys that could have done this as seamlessly as it's been for him and the players.
Yeah, because if it got sideways or ugly, it's an easy way to tell a story. Well, how could you ever follow the GOAT and all that? It's like, obviously we're early in the season still, but seemingly team all in, state all in, you're all in, and DeBoer wins games. So congrats, Coach.
Yeah.
Shiz on handling the transition here. Go ahead, AJ.
Coach, what about tomorrow? What's going to happen on the field? When you watch these, obviously, you're very close to the Alabama team. You played the Georgia team many times. What do you think is going to happen tomorrow night? How do you think the atmosphere is? And I guess we all know we're in for a good game, but how do you think this thing plays out?
Well, I think it's going to be, a great game. That's why you come to places like this, or Georgia for that matter, because, it's an opportunity to play in games like this. Great competitors like to play against really good competition and sort of see how they can have success. I mean, if you're playing against somebody you're better than, you don't always get that same kind of self-gratification from what you're able to accomplish. So these are two really good teams. I don't think that neither team has really totally found their sea legs, especially on offense, to have the consistency. There's been a little inconsistency in both cases, and I think whoever can sort of do that tomorrow night probably is going to create a pretty significant advantage for themselves, and that'll probably start with how the quarterbacks play.
Yeah, and obviously both of them are no stranger to this rivalry. Excited to see who shows up, who doesn't show up. Speaking on that note, Ty has a question for you.
Yeah, Coach, at the start of the season when everyone was talking about the 12-team playoff, it was kind of Georgia, and then there's a big gap, and we'll kind of see who else fills in those spots. And then obviously after the close win at Kentucky, do you think that is the best thing that could have happened for Kirby? Because he can kind of reignite a fire underneath his guys' asses and kind of say, like, hey, maybe we're not as good as everyone thought we were. We can't just roll the ball out onto the field and just beat anyone who we play. Like, how have these last 2 weeks, you think, been for him addressing the team ahead of this game?
Well, I always said in the past, one of the worst things you could do as a team is play poorly and win. Because how are the players going to respond to that? But knowing Kirby, knowing Georgia, knowing the kind of success and expectations they have as a team, I would say winning that close game probably was a positive thing for them to be able to say, hey, we need to make some corrections here. We need to technically sort of improve at some of these areas, whether it's offensive line, defensive line, coverage, receiver, whatever it might be. And I think the players probably were very receptive to that, and the bye week was probably a very welcome time for them.
Love that both teams have a bye week. Yeah. No excuses. Mm-hmm. No excuses. Here we go. In September, Georgia-Bama. This is very abnormal, right?
Very abnormal.
How do you feel about it?
Usually end of the season, usually December, SEC championship game, playoff, whatever it might be. So, but I think this is a good thing. I think it's good to have, these kind of games all year long. I think the one thing about this game that, people are going to make this a huge game, which it is a really huge game. But at the same time, how do you respond to whatever the consequences of the game are? If you win, how do you move forward in terms of, because you're going to have some other tough games and some real challenges. And if you lose, how do you respond to that? Because you're going to have some really tough challenges down the road. So, and I think as hard as the SEC is with however many teams are in the top 10, which are quite a few, you can lose a game or two and still have a chance to get in the playoffs. So I think it's how you react and respond to the consequences of a game like this that's going to be the key for both teams.
You talk about SEC football. I mean, Kentucky almost got a win over Georgia.
Yeah.
That's just Georgia, Kentucky there in middle of September, let alone it's a tough road down there in the South. It is a tough road down there in the South. This man, the go to the South, tomorrow is going to be, I can't wait to see.
Huge.
Well, that was the biggest difference I always felt in playing in the SEC versus other conferences was the depth of the league. You know, how many good teams there were, which meant how many good games, tough games do you have to play? And I think there was one year we played 9 ranked teams, you know, out of 12 games. So,
yeah, but there's some teams who have 3 ranked wins all year, and it's like this team's strength of schedule. Yeah. They got a lot of. You're like 9. Yeah, we got 10.
That's what I keep harping on with this whole selection committee is, you know, at least in basketball, you get credit for winning whatever they call these significant games where, you know, somebody's RPI rating is so high, you get more credit for that. I think we need to do something like that in football because schedules and depth of conference are not all the same everywhere, but in the SEC, it's pretty difficult.
Yeah, and the Big 12, obviously, West Virginia's got gauntlet coming right out there. You know that, Coach. Let's stay in the SEC here. Connor's got a question for you.
Yeah, Coach. Also, speaking of the top 10, I believe like 4 or 5 of the head coaches in the top 10 poll right now have ties to you, so congrats to you on that. Pretty cool, no big deal. But for you, when it comes to, you know, projecting things, obviously this is your first year on College Game Day, and one of the things you said was that Georgia and Texas would be in the SEC championship game, and you said that also to feed Alabama rat poison. So for you, is this the biggest win-win game of all time? Because if Georgia wins, your projection is right, and then if Georgia loses and Alabama wins, then your rat poison worked?
Yeah, I think you got it.
Will you chat with?
I don't even think it requires an explanation.
Hey, will you chat with Kirby? Have you chatted with Kirby? How often do you keep in touch with him and other guys around college ball that you've coached with? Well, Coach.
You know, I have a tremendous amount of respect for those guys and appreciation for, you know, the great job they did for us for so many years, and wish them well, you know, in terms of their programs, how they build their programs, the success that they can have. And hopefully there was something that they learned here that is helpful to them. But at the same time, you know, when you've been in Alabama for so long, it's not easy not to be a big-time Roll Tide guy.
Well, that's why as soon as we heard you say that, as soon as we heard it was at SEC Media Days, I think, down there in Dallas or whatever. And as soon as we heard it, we were like, oh, he's still trying to coach the boys. You hear these assholes on TV, they're saying Georgia, Texas. Texas is going to come in. Like, Kalen DeBoer just runs that for the team. Jalen Milroe said, you know, Coach Saban actually told us not to listen to any of the outside noise, so I'm not going to. Like, it was a beautiful play by you, and it's awesome to watch. Now, let's talk about the current state of college football, and you're the right person to ask about because GOAT-ness. And you said, I forget what it was, breaking point was kind of the point, but you said the NIL thing is going to come to a head at some point, and there's going to have some situation, you had an exact title for it, exact word for it, I forget what it was, where it's all going to blow up, and then they're going to have to kind of fix it. Ty Schmidt has a question for you, Coach Saban.
Yeah, Coach, with everything going on at UNLV right now, is this kind of exactly what, is it all every coach's worst nightmare that something like this could happen when NIL first started? And is there any way we can kind of get this on track in the interim before there is some sort of governing body or anything like that? Because right as that happened, now we're seeing other guys at other schools who maybe aren't happy with their playing time saying, you know what, I'm going to take a redshirt year as well and then hit the portal and try to find playing time elsewhere. Like, is there any way we can kind of put like an emergency brake on this thing before it gets too out of hand?
Well, I don't think there is until we sort of figure out what is the path to have a manageable system, you know, in college football? Well, which I think is very possible. I mean, I don't really want anybody to think I don't want players to make money, but, you know, name, image, and likeness has kind of turned into pay for play. So if we're going to do that, why don't we just revenue share with the players? And they can still have name, image, and likeness, but it's got to be something that creates marketing value for, you know, some company or whatever, and they get paid for it, like it's Bryce Young doing a Dr. Pepper commercial or whatever. So But the way we are right now, where everybody's a consistent free agent, you don't have any contract, you don't have any responsibility or obligation to your team. I don't know, like the player at UNLV that's opting out, what kind of value is he really creating for his future based on what he's doing? I don't know that he really is. And how does it affect, his teammates, and what's everybody else's and the country's team going to think of what he's doing? So there's so many consequences, and people don't really ever think about the 40% of the guys who get in the portal who lose their scholarship because they got in the portal and don't get an opportunity to go someplace else because they thought the grass was going to be greener on top of the septic tank, and it's not. So, anyway, there's a lot of consequences, out there. So of this kind of behavior and the culture that we've created, in college athletics. We're really not creating value for people's future. We're trying to see how much money we can make right now while we're going to college, and that's a huge shift, in the dynamic of development of college players.
Yeah, and guys, knowing that college payment is going to be the most money they're ever going to make playing football, maybe knowing they're not NFL guys. Obviously, it's a different situation, but once there is a managing pay-for-play situation with the revenue share with school, I think everybody's going to be relieved. I think everybody is going to be very relieved in it. I don't know if you saw with this UNLV situation, the most recent update is the president of Circa Sports out there in Derek Stevens out in Las Vegas, like $100,000. I'll give him $100,000. Is this what we need? $100,000 to keep this guy in Las Vegas? Which goes exactly to your point, and I think everybody else's point. Like, this can't just be how this goes now. This can't just be like, hey, because this is going to backfire immensely for somebody. And then also, how is there any comps? How do you know what is worth what? How do you know if your deal is good and not good? It's like, the faster we get some sort of figure out thing, the better for all parties, I think. And I think you're echoing those same sentiments, right, Coach?
Yeah, no question about it. And I think the players need protection.
Yes.
I mean, you have the NFLPA that you can't even be an agent unless you can pass, certain muster to create value for players. Well, none of the players in college have any protection from anyone. Anybody can be an agent. Anybody can be that, third party on the street telling a guy what to do. So you don't even know if he's getting good information, bad information. So there's a lot of things that we could fix in college football, and I don't think it's that far away because it's such a great game, and there's so much interest and passion and enthusiasm that it's worth it. It's worth it to get it fixed.
Numbers going like this, college football. Coach, numbers going like this for college football. Storylines are massive. We got Georgia-Bama right now.
Come on.
I mean, that's a big deal. Other massive games happening around the country. Go ahead, Tone.
Yeah, Coach, the first month for Ohio State was 3 games against Group of 5 teams where they were 40-plus point favorites and a bye in there. And now they finally get to start the Big Ten play against Michigan State. Do you think Coach Day is ecstatic to get through that first month, without any major injuries, without anything bad happening, and finally kind of getting into Big Ten play and kind of figured out who his team is?
Yeah, I think you're probably absolutely right on that. He's probably used those first 3 games sort of as exhibition games to sort of learn about his team, find out who they are. But I think this is a very talented roster. I mean, they got really good receivers. They got 2 really good backs. The quarterback doesn't have to be great if he can just manage the game and not mess it up. They're really good on defense. I mean, it amazes me, are they going to be able to continue to play split safety defense, which really only gives you 5.5 guys in the box, and be able to stop the run like they have in these first few games, which makes it more difficult to be able to pass the ball. So, this is a very talented team, but I think deep down inside, as a coach, you want to play a good opponent to try to figure out exactly where are we as a team. When we have to compete against somebody, well, how are we going to respond to that? How are we going to react to the adversity of it? But I'm very impressed with Ohio State's team.
Go ahead, AJ.
Coach, can you ever tell throughout the week when you were coaching? So sometimes I think there's carryover from, hey, we had a great week of practice and we go out there and we play a great game. Sometimes you feel like you have a terrible week and you go out there and dominate. Is there ever a time where you could hone in on that and you kind of had a beat on, hey, we're either going to come out hot or we may come out a little bit flat?
Well, I think that the big thing that I look for as a coach, because what I was always trying to do is, get every player to try to play to his full potential. And I wanted guys in the program that had passion to try to, be perfectionist and close the gap on perfect, knowing that you could never get there. But so sometimes when you notice the mindset individually or collectively in the group that's not how we were going about business, that's not how we were preparing, that was a great indication to me that we're not going to play well in the game. And I always try to confront that the best I could and make players aware of that so that we didn't have those ups and downs. But, we won 19 games in a row here, twice. And we needed to lose. I mean, we got to the point where we weren't preparing the right way. There was too much complacency, which creates a blatant disregard for doing what's right. And then it starts showing up in your habits and your performance and your play, and you're destined and then to get beat. And then when you do get beat, everybody wants to, go to work on how do we right the ship. So, sometimes you recognize it, sometimes you can fix it, sometimes it's not fixable unless you get something that happens, a little thunderbolt that shakes everybody up a little bit.
Yeah, we need a perspective putter around here a little bit. Everybody's thinking shit's too sweet, and it's kind of a runaway. We're getting rewarded with it. We need a loss to kind of fix some things up, which brings me to Colorado. Coach Prime started practice over the other day, okay? From the top, he said, you guys acting like we dominated that game. We snuck by that game. They are now 14-point underdogs down in Orlando against UCF. And we started telling stories around here. A.Q. Shipley was here. He played for Joe Paterno. Darius Butler was here talking about his time up at UConn. I was talking about with Rich Rod. I assume A.J. Hawk has similar situations at Ohio State for the coach, for Tresson, and anybody else he played for. I don't think I know the entire
Just Coach Tressel.
Okay, Coach Tressel. Starting practice over, such a hilarious move by you coaches. And A.Q. Shipley learned later, whenever he became a coach, that those were sometimes premeditated, where coach is like, I need one thing to happen, and I'm starting this thing over. Everybody needs a nice little, from the top. Rich Rod, awesome. Mic'd up for ESPN for a Thursday Night Football game for the first 4 periods. We're talking shit to Rich Rod, like, oh, hey, you look good today, coach. He's like, yeah, guys, this is a good day to get better. Just was not Rich Rod at all. Like, we could feel it, we could sense it. Then he takes that microphone off. Obviously, ESPN leaves out through the tunnel after, let's say, period 6 or 7 or whatever, walking out there. He literally Stone Cold Steve Austin back. Oh, you think that's hit the horn from the – I had to kick again. We're an hour past field goal. I'm back kicking. We're doing the restart of this whole thing. Were you a big start practice over, Coach? How many times did you utilize it? And Coach Prime doing that, what does that tell you about how Colorado probably responds this week?
Well, what I used to do is not start practice over, but I would start the period over.
Got it.
Like we'd go on good team run or whatever, and one side of the ball was just not responding, or the offense was getting stuffed, or the defense was getting gashed, and I'd let them run 8, 10, 12 plays, and I'd just say this is not what we need, and start the period over, and that usually got their attention.
Yeah,
because they knew that we'd start the next period over. But I was always afraid to start practice over, like practice would be too long or something. But it's the same concept. You're trying to change the mindset of how everybody's approaching preparation for the game. And it's the same thing I said before, Coach Prime situation. Play poorly and win. That is like the kiss of death, because guys don't always want to respond. They look at you like, hey, coach, we won the game. Why are you all upset making us practice and all that? Where if you lose, they're saying, when are we going to practice? Not why are we practicing? So there's a big difference in mindset. But the really great competitors, they always keep that same mindset. They always, because they want to be the best that they can be. So it's not about just winning and losing. It's about how good can I be.
Man, Coach, listening to you talk's awesome, dude. We're very lucky you retired, and they turned that room into the recruiting holding room, and you're a part of game day. You make us all much smarter, legitimately. And you seemingly understand everything happening around college world because you were literally just in it. And also you were in it, 75 years ago, too. So,
yeah, that's true.
That's good. You can kind of blend the two, Coach?
Not quite.
Yeah. You look good. You look great. You should see how fit he is, too.
Looks
Jock strapping?
Dude, he is. He walks.
Tell on camera.
Yeah, you're in.
Properly jocked.
He eats, too. He's not scared of like he's eating shit, too.
Yeah, from you, yeah.
Steaks.
Yeah. Some sweets. He'll have a sweet. He'll have a sweet every once in a while. This guy's a modern marvel, this guy.
One comment about that, I remember saying something out in Oklahoma about they don't make them like they used to you. And I said, will you be able to do this when you're 72? And you said, there's no way I'm getting to 72.
That's an accurate sentiment. You see, that's self-awareness there. And him hitting the ball, 72, and then Saban, you're a beast, dude. Now, let's talk about that Oklahoma-Tennessee game from last week, actually. Big moment. Connor has a question for you.
Yeah, Coach. After the game, Tennessee released a nice little video, and it was really cool seeing Coach Heupel talk to his team, and he actually mentioned about how, this week wasn't about him coming back to Oklahoma, and he got real emotional, but he said, he thanked his team for bringing a little extra for him. Were there any situations for you, whether when you were at Bama playing LSU or anywhere else, where, you went back and played a team that you coached for and your guys were kind of a little more revved up for it? And also, what do you think about that Tennessee team? Because, we talked about it Monday. There was a lot of talk about the offense all weekend, and then, the defenses kind of shine for both of those teams.
Yeah, well, I do think that when we went back to play LSU the first time when I was here, I think it was the second year we were here, I was really concerned about the reception that I would get, which was pretty difficult, and how it would affect our team, because I know the passion that the people have at LSU, and I respect that and loved it when I was there and think it's great for college football, but I knew it was going to be pretty harsh, and I didn't want it to affect our team in a negative way. So that's probably the biggest one. But to your point about the defense, I think Tennessee's defense is probably one of the most underrated units, in college football, because we talk about the offense, talk about Nico, we talk about all that stuff, but this fastball, but their defense is the real deal. And they played really well in the last game. And I think the good thing about having defense is, people say it all the time, defense travels. Even when you play on the road, you can play good on defense. It might affect the offense, but the defense will always play well. And I think Tennessee's defense was outstanding. I think Oklahoma's defense is outstanding. I just think that, Tennessee has a little more balance because they have a pretty good offensive team as well.
Coach Heupel afterwards told Nico Iamaleava in the moment on the field, he was like, hey, at the end we had to pull back a little bit because how good our defense was playing. Like, that was a decision made in real time by Heupel, who runs this hurry up, let's do this. And then he realizes what his defense is doing. He's like, hold the phone. It feels like we're in a good spot there on our second quarterback. Our defense is doing well. This would be a huge win in this moment. And let's get it. Heupel's a good ball coach, man. He's good. But that emotional moment was cool afterwards, too.
Yeah, I think he's a great coach. And I think it was smart for him to slow it down and try to shrink the game. You're playing on the road. You don't want to lose the momentum of the game. You keep going fast. You're going to play more plays on defense and give them more opportunities on offense. So I thought he did a really good job of managing that situation, playing on the road. First, game on the road for a young quarterback. I thought he did a fantastic job.
I love that at night when he laid his head down, though. There was a...
Oh, yeah.
That's what I fucking know.
Yeah, just like a mother...
Yeah, there was. And I love that. You got to have that, by the way, at the highest level. Can't wait to see you, Coach. Enjoy this weekend, man. It's going to be awesome to watch that place say thank you to you yet again on national television. It's really cool. It's going to be cool to see.
Forward to it. It's going to be exciting. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the GOAT, Nick Saban. Thank you. He's man.
Yeah, legend.
He'll start just going. You just try. They think the grass is going to be greener on top of the septic tank.
Yeah, that's awesome.
He's so good at it.
So good.
On game day, he's phenomenal.
Unbelievable.
You should see, because he's got that computer in front of him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and I'm always trying to should I steal these notes here? I don't know.
Not to mention him saying,
what's he watching?
I screwed up on that.
Oh, yeah, we did. Hey, can you get, is he left? Man. Yeah, him saying, I screwed up.
I screwed up.
No, you didn't. You can never screw up. Just want to let you know. And then we go right to a commercial break.
Yeah.
And then we're out of there. He thought he said the wrong thing at the wrong time. It was like, Coach, from me to you, I'm not the people that are in our ears talking right now. Reese, this is Reese's show. He's the host. From me to you, I want to let you know, you can do no fucking wrong. Just want to let you. Whatever comes out, like it is good. You did not. He gets it, man, and I think he wants to make college football better. Like it's not, and I think this is a big part of like his transition out of ball too, because he watches film on.
Absolutely. Think how difficult it would be for him if he wasn't doing game day. I feel like it would be. How weird would his life be if he's like, I don't have like at least he has this goal to work towards and go, and he knows he's going to go do this and have fun every week.
Yeah, this is like Belichick too. You know, Belichick has like 40 different gigs studying NFL film because he was like, I can't, what do I do? This for 50 years.
Oh, I know.
And it's like Nick Saban has been, motivating, inspiring, strategizing, recruiting, spent like in game day, kind of all of it kind of in one thing. And he can still golf. Tuesday, Thursday.
Doesn't have to recruit.
But he can say like, hey, and I think he wouldn't mind. It feels like he is
getting back in.
Oh yeah,
very much. Hey, I want to kind of. He's like, I don't want to say a socialite because he's not a socialite. I don't think you're just going to see him out and about. But whenever he's around a group, listen to him talk. He gets it. He knows that we are listening because you're Coach Saban, and he is delivering the stories you want to hear. Because it is like making you a better person. I feel like I'm a better person because I've had dinner now with Coach Saban the last few weeks on Friday nights. And like just getting a chance to hear him interact and answer things and the way he views things, and then like his thoughts on things and explaining why one person potentially in the past was something that lived up to the hype or not. It's like it's just never ending. Like this guy's a teacher. He is always teaching, and I think he has done great for game day. Now he's back in front of his crowd. That's a cool thing.
Yeah, for sure.
That is Nick Saban Field is right down the road where we're going to be. I felt that one time I went to Knoxville, Tennessee, and we drove down Manning Way towards the stadium, and then there was a photo of Peyton Manning on the side of the stadium, and I was sitting right next to Peyton Manning, and I was like, "Holy fuck, you did it, dude! You really did. This is not your hometown. You went to another city, and you got the street and decide. Good for you, man. Like that means the amount of work, the amount of respect, appreciation, gratitude that a place has for you. It doesn't always happen like that, obviously. Alabama obviously has that for Saban. It's like, I hope he gets a chance to kind of take it in and enjoy it all because, dude, so good at what he does.
Cool hearing him say that about DeBoer, too, being like, I don't know if there was anyone else who could have come in and have things go as seamlessly. I think
he still has an office in the stadium.
I think he does too.
So I think that was like a conversation.
I heard that.
So the coach that made all this, okay, everything around you that you see. Now, granted, I know Alabama historically great, but before he got there, Rich Rod was supposed to be the coach. I mean, it was.
It was.
They were not what they are now. People assume that they were the Alabama of now. They were not before he got there.
Not at all. They were at once. And then
you guys
in like the 50s.
And then
not when he took over, though. Not when he took over.
Bingo, yeah. So like everything you see, and he's certainly remodeled Saban's office. We've seen that from like Saban's office to like modern college football.
The LED lights, yeah.
It's like, yes, very much so. And then him looking around that old staff room being like, this is where
sweet. We need one.
How come we didn't? And then he probably sees DeBoer's office and he's like, I didn't know this was even
I could do this.
What the hell?
This guy's pretty good, man.
Saban had that old like lawyer oak feel office.
Professor.
Dark. Yeah.
Yeah, Professor feel. Because I assume at one point this is how offices are. And then
definitely.
DeBoer gets in there. LED lights on every shelf.
Yeah.
Boom, bang. We got the egg glowing here.
That was nice.
Whenever recruits come walking into this office with their family, you're going to be like, a lot of winning here.
Yeah.
Yep.
A lot of winning here. And that guy has an office in the building. That's a wild thing. I assume it's already sold out and you're not going to be able to find a ticket. But if you were to buy a ticket to any live event, anyone, sports obviously is the one that we're pumping because there's a lot of live events that are sporting events.
Yes.
But any live event on earth, you go to our good friends at SeatGeek. SeatGeek is the greatest ticket buying platform on planet Earth and the moon. With over 28 million downloads, SeatGeek is the #1 rated ticketing app. Each ticket is rated on a scale of 1 to 10. This is a big deal. Not 1 to 5.
No.
Not enough detail.
No, not even close.
Need to go 1 to 10 so you can get more attention to detail. Because if, what's that, AJ?
I think you're right. I mean, I haven't heard that, but yeah, 1 to 10 gives you much more leeway.
Yeah, it's obviously more attention to detail because there's more details to have attention to. If it was 1 to 100, which I think SeatGeek originally wanted.
Yes.
I think SeatGeek originally wanted 1 to 100 for the most specific attention to detail ticket rating in the history, but they said it's too many numbers for people to kind of have to deal with.
Right. Get lost in the sauce.
Too much. So it's just 1 to 10, which I think is the right play. Which is SeatGeek football. That's what SeatGeek does.
That's all they do.
If you find green dots, green means that's a good price ticket for that. If you were to scan the rest of the internet, this is a good ticket for where you're buying your ticket at. And then if it's red, that means lower on the scale. It means like, hey, you can probably get this ticket or a better ticket at a better price somewhere. SeatGeek's not scared to tell you the truth, which is why SeatGeek has survived so long, even through a 2-year World Live Event stoppage. SeatGeek is the best. And right now, if you use PMS30, that's PMS30, you'll get $30 off tickets with code PMS30. Shout out to SeatGeek for being our longest business partner. Literally, day after I retired. And it was like,
I've used it multiple times, even before I knew you got that whole situation.
Yeah, we've used them for everything we go to, obviously. They're the greatest. We used to do the whole, we'll make a video if you give us the $10,000 front row.
Cool tickets.
They're like, I don't know if that's all right. Do it. Like, thank you so much. Yeah. They certainly did not get the value back on that, but we appreciate everything they do for your value when you're buying tickets. We'll be making all our picks for this weekend's games on the other side, and we'll be back for Overreaction Monday from all of us to all of you. Thank you for allowing us to do this for a living. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice. It might change their life. Goodbye. That was pretty. Right on the screw.
Yeah, well done.
You got it.
Because now it's not me that has to do the countdown. It's them in the back.
Yep.
If they don't start it at the proper time, that's on them.
Oh, true. Exactly. Then it's
Get it right,
easy.
boys.
Hey, what the hell?
Boys, I thought we were...
The fuck are we doing back there?
But instead, you got Foxy just chilling.
That one's
Roll
Nick.
gold.
That one's all Nick.
Oh,
I was going to say you should be worried if it was Foxy.
Well, sometimes Nick can get distracted, too. He'll see something on the internet. It'll drive him wild, and he's not paying attention. And then Gumpy's obviously like, come on, brother. That back row there. So being so attentive about the last 30 seconds, good work back here, boys.
Hell yeah,
Good work, boys.
Good job.
Nick's worried about this weekend. I can feel it.
Is he?
What?
Pittsburgh Steelers coming to town. Sorry, you got to deal with the loud house. Nick's felt the loud house before. He's been in there.
It's going to be loud, man. Those Steelers fans, they travel and they're very loud.
Yeah, I'm worried about the Colts.
That's what you meant, correct?
The Colts having to go silent count.
We know nobody travels like the Steelers fans. They have the best, probably, traveling fans in the NFL. Like, they come in mass.
People would say the Packers for sure, but Pittsburgh,
Packers absolutely travel well, too.
the Steelers, and the story's been told on this particular program numerous times. There's a lot of guys on microphones right now that are from Pittsburgh and very lucky to be. That's not one of them. That is not one of them.
Yes, it is.
That is the
Go
one.
Stangs.
Hey, Stangs up, baby.
Hey, Stangs are winning in a lot.
Yeah.
Stangs are winning in a lot.
Basically everything. It's about time.
Anyways, Rooney family was approached by the NFL to market the Pittsburgh Steelers as America's team. And Wanstead told the story a couple years ago. Hey, do you want your team to be called America's team? We've realized that you have the most amount of fans across the country, yada, yada, yada. And Rooney said, we're not America's team, we're Pittsburgh's team. And then case closed.
So sick.
Okay, then move along. Then the Cowboys obviously become America's team, and they're on primetime every single week. And Jerry Jones is like, yeah, we'll take money from everybody.
Yeah.
And they're the most valuable franchise on earth, so obviously it worked out. It was the right move. But the reason why the NFL had the stats and analytics that they were actually America's team is because, when the Steel Mills moved, people from Pittsburgh were displaced around. That's why you can find a Steelers bar in literally every single city in the United States of America, and even, I think, globally now at this point. Pittsburgh, one of the founders of everything you see in almost every single city. Steel is no joke, brother, and Yinzers are everywhere. Now, with that being said, I am worried about the amount of terrible towels that are going to be in Louisville.
Definitely should be.
Because whenever you hear the home of the Chiefs, you immediately know how many Kansas City Chiefs fans are in your stadium.
Yep.
That happens. For Steelers fans traveling, they just they all just, we are here. Okay, we are here. And Yinzers, might be a shit-talking bunch to their core, in their blood, as how it goes. They're not scared to do that for an entire quarter if they have to. If it gets rolling, they will instill their dominance over your fan base. But don't worry, AJ Hawk. This is the loud house. Okay? The Indianapolis Colts fans are ready to be loud as well. If the Colts have to go on silent count, so be it. What I am a little bit worried about, though, Zaire Franklin, who leads the NFL in tackles, is
good player.
One of our best players. I think our best player. He is
very good.
Phenomenal player. Very popular here in Indianapolis. He does a weekly segment, I think, with Dave Calabro. Dave Calabro in his last season covering the Indianapolis Colts and doing the news at WTHR, Sports News at WTHR. We will miss Dave Calabro.
Hell yeah.
But Zaire Franklin chit-chatted with him, and I know he was just joking, but let's make sure that we would like to hammer home that let's make sure this is a joke.
Yeah, the Bears brought a lot of fans last week. We expect the same. The Steelers always travel, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
So the home crowd's got to bring it.
No question. I mean, hopefully we get to steal a couple of terrible towels, though. I might try to snatch one myself. We'll see.
Uh-oh. I'll do it.
Uh-oh.
Not good.
Don't do it, Zaire. I know you're a fun joke. Don't do
What about after a big win? After a big win, maybe.
Yeah.
Afterwards, don't do it. Just don't do it.
Why not? They already won.
Now, there's a lot of stats that have come out about teams after they some people have wiped their ass with them. Some people have stepped on. Some people have stolen them. Some people have done that. Never works out good. This terrible towel has some majestic presence around it. You need to see it, respect it, but let's not disgrace it. That is not a good move if you're an Indianapolis Colt. And I think Zaire Franklin was just trying to have fun with Dave Calabro. Dave Calabro's good guy, good news, good vibes. He's just trying to crack jokes. I would just like to let everybody in that Indianapolis Colts locker room know, and you guys live your own life. I don't know many of you that well anyways, so you can take it how you want. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
I hope that's all it is, because I like Zaire. He's a dog. I like watching him play. We go to the game. We have a good time in the suite. I'm not a Colts fan, but, it's cool to be there. And if the Colts do well, that makes it more enjoyable time. Yep. So don't go and do something silly, Zaire.
There's no reason to do it.
It'll ruin all the games going forward.
Yeah, it's not just this particular game. It is like it lingers. The terrible towel hovers.
Yeah, it does.
You're like a magic carpet ride.
Yeah.
That terrible towel is just fluttering over your team, your locker room, your franchise, your entire franchise. We don't need. Myron Cope is like, yoy, you think you're funny? Yoy, eat shit, pal. Boom.
He's got time.
Yeah, he does. He's got a lot of time, especially if you do. Let's not do that. But I do echo the sentiments of what AJ and basically everybody has said. There's going to be a lot of black and gold.
Yeah.
In Lucas.
Is Brett Michaels coming? Is Brett Michaels doing the anthem, you think?
God, I hope not.
Well, I think he's actually bringing in his own stereo, and then he's, oh, mama, I'm in here for my life from the long arm of the law. They're like, we can't hear it over here. He's like, oh, sorry. Oh, man, yeah, I think that is actually what Brett Michaels is planning on doing.
Sweet.
Yeah, but the towel, Jags were the latest. They've been 3-9 since Joe Dirt picked up the towel and did what he did with it. TJ Houshmandzadeh in the past did it, and the Steelers then knocked them out of the playoffs that year. The Titans did it, and they knocked them out of the playoffs as well. And Zaire's not the only one. Latu said that the Steelers have zero chance of running the ball against them. So, I mean...
he did not say that. He did not say that.
Yeah, he did.
Did not. Hey, Steelers locker room, none of that is real, okay? The joking, joshing about the terrible towel and doing, Wingard.
Joe Dirt.
Wingard, Joe Dirt.
A.K.A.
beat the Colts. And there's obviously, there's just...
Well, the Bills, they beat us, so that one doesn't count.
They got their own curse.
Yeah, the Bills are...
Oh, no, he's like flossing.
Jeez.
He's flossing his butt cheeks.
Yeah.
I didn't know the Colts were walking more.
Still going.
What's that?
Kwity Paye and Kenny Moore out of the ball game.
What?
No.
Who?
Braden Smith. Kenny Moore's out. Kwity Paye's out.
Kenny Moore's out. He was in a suite.
Yeah, I think you guys were pounding on him too hard when
Braden
he jumped
Smith
in the suite.
No.
What the fuck? What happened to Kenny Moore? He was in a suite.
Braden Smith's out?
Braden Smith and Ryan Kelly didn't practice today. They haven't been ruled out yet.
Oh, shit.
What happened with Kenny Moore? What do we...
He got hurt at the end of the game.
What was in my car?
It's a hip, Bruce is saying.
A hip?
A hip. Yeah, that's what Bruce said.
It was hard to jump that. Probably when he jumped the wall to get in the suite.
He didn't do that.
Nah, it was way after that. Jumped right in, brother.
He actually jumped Twisty McTwist, sat down in his seat.
Hey, what's up, guys?
I was like, hey, good to see you, Kenny.
Good
Once
game,
again, Zaire, bow to him. That was good. Thank you, Zaire, for all the football that you play well.
Don't take the towel.
Don't take the towel.
They should play Renegade, though, after a touchdown.
Stop. So they did play it, I guess, one of the times, and they put clowns on Steelers' faces, and it didn't matter.
It just fired up.
That'd be cool, too. I just want to sing Renegade and hear it.
Got some guests in the suite this weekend. Should be fun how this entire thing goes. A lot of Yinzers traveling out, but it's going to be a majority of Colts fans in Lucas Oil Stadium.
Wow.
Yeah, it will. Definitely.
My only worry is
half maybe.
DeFlo just put out his weekly song.
Nope, I heard he's not released until 3:30.
Randy Johnson Backdoor slider on the black 98.
Nope, I heard he wasn't putting it out till 4 o'clock. This is AI. This is not a real one.
No. Like last week was
Johnson
cute.
slider.
I have an alarm on for 3:30 for when he puts out his actual one, not this one that you're talking about.
It was cute last week with the cheerleaders. He got back to Duff Flow this week.
There it is.
Oh, my God. He
This
has
is-
released it.
He's back.
I don't think we don't know if this is.
He's back.
This has not been legitimized.
His OG.
There's an audio problem.
We bleed.
Oh, my God.
No, don't. If this is it, don't do it now with audio problem. I mean, let's.
His charisma comes through even without the audio.
No, like, is that his actual one?
Yeah, that looks like his actual.
What else would it
That's
be?
the flow.
Well, I think he didn't put it out till later, so we weren't able to show it every single week. That's on him.
3:30. That's what it was.
The twist this week was good too.
Oh man, I can't wait to hear it. Holy fuck!
What's the twist?
Oh, we
Got
almost
Bluey
gave
in
it away
there?
right there. We almost gave it. All right, let's go. Here it is.
Uh-oh.
Don't be disrespectful to the flow, please. TJ Watt's watching this.
This is our Colts. This is our team. We bleed blue.
What?
This is our Colts. Whether win or lose, we love them.
Here we go.
For the shoe, beat the Steelers. Let's steal another victory. This is our team. Yes. Colts.
That was very respectful of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers can't listen to that and draw any bulletin board material.
Steal another victory, bitch.
Steal a win.
That's what I thought.
You're not earning victories. You stealing victories.
No, it's just bars because it's the Steelers.
Right.
And he's stealing them, because
Oh,
Bear,
yeah. He's an
Dahn,
artist.
Josh,
You're right.
Dahns. And then, Steelers stealing. I like
Pack them down with our shoes.
Hey, DeFlo, he's been doing this for a bit, and I'm happy he's getting the national.
I like that.
I don't know if he has the national following that you guys seem to think.
Yes, he does.
He does.
You have no idea. You have
Sounds like you don't know shit about the flow.
You're right.
You sound like dumbass.
I guess you're right. A lot of people do ask me about him in Ohio. They're like, man, have you seen DeFlo's newest video? I'm like, no, yeah, I guess he is.
6.8 million.
He's international
on Twitter.
Okay, so
How many of? Okay, never mind.
So I don't know. You tell me.
there's some Steelers and there's some Yinzers, obviously, that are learning of DeFlo for the first time this week as well.
Oh,
he's been singing songs for a long time. He always has those type of bars. They are always fire. Got a little distracted a couple weeks ago. People say whenever we were losing, he's back on the winning side of things.
Let's go.
His Bears song had 2.7 million views on Twitter.
That's huge.
That is huge.
Yes.
So AJ, would you like to apologize?
Nope.
The fool.
Yeah.
I don't know. Hey, numbers are numbers. We know people can do plenty of things to get.
Okay.
You think DeFlo is DeFugaze? You are.
No,
you
I
got
think
Dominic.
maybe
You son of a
maybe
bitch.
Colts fans, you guys all in the office are watching it 625 times a piece.
Oh, they were trying. We ran one muted.
Yeah, so we got two in.
Yeah, we put our numbers up. we put our numbers up, and that'll continue. Big weekend. All right, let's take a break. On the other side of the break, we'll make our picks. We'll wrap up the news from the day, and then let's fly into a hurricane.
Hell yeah.
But not as bad. Not as bad.
Good in Bama.
That's why I didn't.
It's starting to clear up, right? Starting to clear up, isn't it? A little bit.
But Indiana, it's not like.
Between 4 and 8 is supposed to be the worst here.
Yeah, I think it's only getting. It's an
You guys have like a wind advisory thing, right?
Yeah.
60 mile an hour, 70 mile an hour winds.
Way to work today. Actually, on the GPS, it was like wind warning for driving, which is fucking bullshit, but it still said it on the
No, there's
thing.
some of those little cars. They got those little roller skates. Those little one cars. You never know.
Yeah. Get them out.
Had to move all my patio furniture inside. Didn't want it to blow away.
Oh, shit. I forgot to do that.
Yeah.
See ya.
Oh, no.
Yeah, you're on a
And I'm
on
high
a
up
patio.
there.
Yeah, that thing's gone forever.
gone.
That
Yeah.
might hurt somebody.
Actually, if you're supposed to throw it into the pool, I saw.
What's that? That's if there's a tornado, right? You're supposed to jump in the
No,
pool, go
everyone.
underwater.
Well, I guess probably not up here, but if you're actually in Florida with the hurricane, everyone throws their patio furniture in the pool. That is no shit. That is for shoot, brother.
Yeah, because it's going to rain anyway. So if it gets wet, it's built to get
And
wet.
it won't go away.
Yeah.
I saw a guy
Makes
in a
sense.
canoe in his living room
Yeah, it was tough.
down there in St. Petersburg.
A lot of rain.
A lot of storm surge.
Yeah. Bad situation.
That water is nasty too.
Yeah.
Who? I saw he had the little chlorine thing that you put like in hot tubs in there.
Yeah, he said he was taking care of it. He said the mosquitoes are crazy right now. And he said, the guy has great personality.
Yeah, he does.
I watched because obviously his house is getting ruined here. He's going to have to fix all this.
Yeah.
The mold issues that are coming immediately after this
Yes.
are obviously a massive issue in of themselves, let alone all the electric and tech. He said his automatic lights and sensors are right over there. Obviously, they're underwater. That's a whole thing in of itself, and these storms can do that. But everybody down there, positive T's and P's. Don't love them flying directly at it.
No.
Cantori told me, though, Paisan, it's not even going.
Yeah.
Like,
You're fine.
It's here.
Find out.
Cantor.
Yeah, I saw Tennessee and North Carolina get fucked right now. App State had to cancel their game tomorrow because of all the damage.
I saw that.
Brutal.
Hey, Mother Nature's a real problem when she wants to be.
Even when she doesn't.
When she wants to be.
Who named her Mother Nature?
God.
Ever heard of him or her?
I don't know. Is that in the Bible?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's in Austin.
I got to check.
3:16.
No, I think it was Austin 3:15.
Oh, it might have been.
The one right before.
Sure.
God did the whole Adam and Eve thing, and then he said, wait, I need something for weather. So he created Old Man Winter and Mother Nature, and they plowed each other, and that's how we got weather.
It's crazy they did that to each other.
Yeah.
But I guess that's how it works. That's nature versus nurture, Lodge.
Yep.
Nature.
Always wins. All right, we'll be back on the other side with our picks. You're going to want to hear those. Chuck Pagano's still swinging a hot bat. Congratulations to him.
It is.
He gets a win last night as well, 5.5. You know, if people ride the Chuck Pagano train, they got it 5.5. The Giants cover, and AJ gets a push because at the time the graphic.
You saw the graphic I sent in, though. You saw the graphic I sent in. -5 on the Giants.
I didn't see that.
What do you?
No, it was -5.
You saw it
Yeah.
on the Giants in the screen.
To be clear, when you sent it in, now granted across the ticker, and if you did any research at all on the game, you
Well,
would
I'm not
know.
looking down. I'm not looking at the fine print. I'm looking at what's boom right here on the poster on the graphic.
And it said Cowboys -5 on the
And
graphic.
No, it didn't. You saw the picture I sent from
I
the show.
did see the fucking photo, and the number was on the Cowboys, brother.
Now, I will
Okay,
say
you want to
this.
see it again? Pull it up, Z. I'm not trying to make it a thing. I'm just telling you.
I will
what
say this,
saw.
AJ. When you sent that photo in, the entire room goes, okay, none of us saw it that way. But we could see how fucking
But you
AJ
can't.
Hawk sees
Then
it.
how would I not see it that way?
Because every primetime graphic has been like that with the number that
The only
team is
graphic I
favored.
see is right here. The one.
Bro,
on the
and
show.
we had a conversation about them being favored, even though the vibes are completely different. Like we had for maybe an hour and a half.
Hey, I'm a visual learner. You know that. I'm a visual learner.
Sounds like you're not.
I'm cool with it. I don't need that win. I'm gonna probably go undefeated for the rest of my picks. But I'm just saying what I saw.
You still would be undefeated because it was a push.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Good. Then we all win.
Bing.
So you won. Yeah, you
Back
won.
to square one.
I did win.
Yeah.
I did win. Nowhere on that graphic did it say 5.5. Nowhere. Whether you saw it on the Cowboys, which it certainly was.
It was not on that graphic, but yeah. The bottom said Cowboys. The bottom said Cowboys -5, and then it said -5 directly on the Giants player.
Okay.
Oh my God.
All right, buddy.
Oh, what does that look?
You thought the Cowboys were getting 5 points against the Giants?
What does that look like, Goomp? I don't know. I'm a simple.
You
man.
honestly thought that?
It's on the Cowboys name, brother.
Yeah, it is literally.
I don't
right.
care about the name. I care about it's always
but-
on whoever plays.
But if you read it, it's Cowboys -5 at Giants. Yeah. Like that is literally how you can read that.
I mean, yeah, okay. I
Fuck
don't read
you.
top to bottom. I don't read top to bottom.
You don't read
I don't
top
read
to okay, right to
north to
left,
south.
bottom to top. That's how I read. Sorry.
I'm okay with it. I'm just saying this is what it was.
But we talked for an hour and 50 minutes, maybe, even about how the Cowboys were favored on the road, and they were favored by 6, and they were favored by 5.5. And that graphic said 5, even though it was 5.5 seemingly at the time. It was 5 at one point. And it was moving 6, 5, and 5. But
I'm happy to get a push.
Yeah,
Okay.
but what you said about when you sent it in, we all literally go.
If that happens again, I will be fooled again because that's how I see it.
Fool me
What about a conversation though? Like, what about you on?
Well, our conversation, like I was dialed in. I heard you guys were talking, and the whole time I'm thinking, like, man, I can't believe the Cowboys are dogs. What are we doing?
All right.
Happy you're a professional. You're the best. Great breakdown about you yesterday.
Yeah.
Especially when we're talking about picks, we got those on the other side. AJ,
I knew the
won't know.
Cowboys were going to win. I knew they were going to win.
Amen.
I don't care about the points.
But you have to.
Yeah,
because
segment
they're
is
favored, and it's against the spread.
I mean, I don't have to do anything technically if I feel I knew they were going to win. You know what I mean?
You're right. You don't have to do anything. Maybe or maybe not. We'll make our picks on the other side. Be a friend. Tell
No,
a friend
I'm going to make my picks. I want to make my picks.
Okay, all right. Yeah, don't feel obligated. Every game you make.
I like it. I've grown to very much enjoy this segment. I really have.
Good. Yeah, we all have. All right. Be a friend. Tell a friend something nice might change their life. Take 5.
Tonight is a night where everything's going to be remembered. Every play, every sweat, every fight.
Hop in the car, watch it go vroom, vroom. I told her mom that I blow soon. Know as a child back in the womb.
Hey, let's have a national championship Monday, huh?
My name's Pat McAfee. I've started this show 2 different occasions already. This will be the 3rd. Wow. It's 2023. We eat adversity for lunch. There's just so many different forms of gummies coming in my mouth.
Boss man, can you do a kickflip?
100 for it? 100 for it?
Oh!
Come on, bro. That was awesome.
Hey, this little teddy bear is cool. This little round thing is sweet. All right, I feel pretty good for this ESPN party. Let's go have a blast in there. Boom. Need you to do a red carpet. I've never done a red carpet before.
I got to poop, sorry.
I don't know if now's the time.
We're invited to the ESPN party, and now we are all sitting on a red carpet. We had no idea this was coming, obviously. We thought we were just getting some free drinks.
A lot of people on the internet say I look tired. What's that all about? I'm a massive fan of Posner. He was getting motivational speeches in between songs. He was playing other people's songs. He was telling people to stay down. We're going to make a moment. Only on the count of 3, we're going to go crazy.
Oh, I know. Sad song. Sad song.
Oh, yeah.
A couple of these. Bring it up. Bring it up.
Who's up? What do you want?
What'd you do?
Gotta make it back again, baby. It's gotta last until 9 o'clock.
Happy birthday, sack of shit.
I'm so fired up to be here.
Yeah.
I got a necktie and everything.
Holy shit. Tim Tebow's here. Oh my God.
Look at that cut.
The most handsome shot in our show's history. Nick Saban has been spotted at SoFi.
Great work in the back box. These boys crushed it. Now we got game day, then the mega cast. Let's go. Hey, let's have a night.
Obviously, the enemy of great is good. The enemy of a dynasty is winning one championship and letting it go. Fran, you're obviously going to Colorado, a place that's been looking for some sort of championship for 20 years. You're also one of the greatest speakers I've ever heard. What are you saying to your team?
You can't get here and all of a sudden change. You don't want to see a different mannerism of somebody, especially the coaches. See, everybody's talking about the players. But you got to coach the coaches, too.
Did you smile there, too? Were you smiling?
I saw a smile. I do that every now and then.
The rat poison, smiling. That's embedded fourth quarter perfection. Matthew Stafford, fourth quarter perfection. Big moments, Tebow perfection. We got some real magic here tonight, don't we? I love that toad that takes those mushrooms. And With that being said, Stetson Bennett's 25 years old. He's so damn comfortable. Darnell Washington's the backup tight end. He's 6'7", 270. Brock Bowers, best player on the field. The defense full of dogs. Give it to Georgia Bulldogs to go back-to-back. First time since this man and his Alabama squad. I love the Bulldogs tonight, barking all over the place, Coach.
All right, here we go, huh? A little bit of rush from all game day down to the field.
We went all the way to the roof to come back. We are so sorry. All right, let's roll. I gotta get to the sleep. And I'm gonna hop over the sleep thing. Good, Brad.
You are looking at SoFi Stadium, where we'll be crowning a national champion for our college football season tonight. And the Dogs are on the board early. Wide open.
That's the shot that they wanted, baby.
Oh, Stetson Bennett with his second touchdown in the first half. Pick.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Georgia's first down. One-handed touchdown. Brock Bowers, touchdown. It is currently 45-7.
is 52-7. Touchdown!
This is just a good old back home ass whooping.
It's a blowout, and that's the way the cookie crumbles. Hey-o! That son of a bitch, Uga, is having the night of his life.
Wow.
It's raining indoors in Los Angeles. This is God taking a tinkle on something magical, isn't it? Let's get that.
Get him on camera.
That mustache.
Holy smoke.
Holy smokes.
Are you a firefighter?
Good for you, bro. Thanks for your service. First down, Horned Frogs on a 2nd and 3. Why don't we call a game? Holy hell, Tim Tebow is coming. Tebow, we're live.
We're on.
We're live right now. Welcome back to SoFi Stadium. Right before the break, an extra point almost killed Tim Tebow. Natural instincts had to take in place. I could not lose the greatest human on earth, and I'm happy they gave you that ball, Tim. Tone, act like you're Sonny Dykes, please.
All right, boss. First half didn't go our way. We're doing this for the great state of Texas. You know who else was down 31 points?
Who's that?
The Italians.
All right, let's take the tractor another round. What are you watching out there, Coach?
Honestly, they're better off grabbing Luka Doncic out of the crowd and maybe lining him up next to Quentin Johnson at receiver. Because they can't do a damn thing.
We decided Tebow here, formerly known as praying for this TCU team to do something. So you put your hands up, play that song, butterflies fly away. Thank you for your service, sir. You're a badass, man.
Those other Americans, I wouldn't be here.
What a run. The boys crushed it. Appreciate you.
TCU sucks.
What?
That's all she wrote for college football season. What a year. Let's fucking get home.
All right, here we are on the NFL Pro homepage. Let's step into the film room. Show you how quickly, how easily we can find any play from any week. This is week 2. Find a play result. Interceptions, of course. One of the best interceptions I've seen ever. Not the one against Tua. Let's go to Cam Taylor-Britt against Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. We can pick which camera angle we want, broadcast or sideline. I'm going to go with the broadcast view. It's just a quick, easy example of how quickly you can use this NFL Pro tool. Awesome, awesome tool. I mean, unbelievable interception. Let's go, baby.
Hey.
Why?
Let's go.
This show stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for.
McAfee on the line with a gorgeous assist.
The all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers. You ping! Damn it! Your friend tell a friend something nice could change their life. Welcome back to the program. Here live from our humble abode, the Thunderdome, on this Feel Good Friday, September 27, 2024. Hour 3 of the program starts now. Football! A lot of fun was had during the commercial break. That's AJ Hawk. The Talks the Table is here at Boston Connor and at Ty Schmidt. One half of the Hammer. Cowboys AP Tone is here. Tone, any gambling numbers we should know about for these games as we embark on picking every single game happening on NFL Sunday?
Yeah, there are a few out there that are dogs that are more than 5, which have been absolutely crushing the public this year. They're 15-3 against the spread. Last week, now it's not for picking a side, the unders were 10-4 on Sunday. We talked about how much teams are running the ball and the games are kind of going quick and slowing down a bit, so it's been beneficial to the unders.
Not a lot of punts either.
No, you're right. Because
not a lot of punts. Games are shorter. Series are less.
Yep.
I mean, it's an interesting. It's an interesting.
So yeah,
time.
so far the unders and the dogs have been the story of this NFL season.
Okay, as we dive in, that's a nice little piece of information. 15-3, 5+ point dogs is the stat he just gave in this 2024 season. But once again, that can all change. So can your life if you just get a DoorDash app.
Oh my God.
We DoorDash pizza out yesterday.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, buddy. We got crispy pepperoni.
Oh my God.
That was a game changer.
Crispy pepperoni.
So do you order it like specifically crispy, or do you have to say something?
I think you got to say so. I think it is an option.
Yep.
And you know what I love about Pizza Hut is
everything.
Everything, yeah. All of it.
Not just food wise.
Okay.
They got those little white tables in the middle of the pizza,
Oh
so
my God.
the box doesn't go down on it. That's so old school.
Attention to detail.
It's
Yep.
I saw it. I'm like, I love Pizza Hut. We eat the shit out of it yesterday.
Yeah, we did.
But you can eat shit out of anything that's near you with our friends at DoorDash. A truly phenomenal journey into the future. Remember, there was a company here in Indianapolis called Cluster Truck.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
They were just a delivery restaurant. That's it. We deliver. That's all we do. Just deliver. And I remember thinking, this is genius. This is the right move. They had our office just ordering right around.
Chicken strip.
And then COVID comes, and then all of a sudden delivery, everything starts happening. Then DoorDash comes into the world, and it's like, I can get 5-star restaurant delivered. I don't have to go do the whole song and dance. Nah, it'll get right to you. Is it still going to be cooked good? Yeah, they actually figured out the timing on cooking to get the delivery right. Usually, pizza companies were the only delivery companies in the past. Now everybody's a delivery company. At the beginning, they didn't have it figured out. Now everybody's seemingly got it figured out with the wrapping, the packaging, the transport, the picture taking, the drop. I mean, it's like, shout out to DoorDash. You did it.
Shout out.
Change the world.
Love you,
Change the
DoorDash.
world, man.
And you can shop. And you can shop on there.
I've used it twice today, to be clear.
Yeah, bingo. Yeah, that is.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I needed more.
Hell yeah.
I need more toothpaste here. DoorDash, Dash Mart. Let me go ahead and get this toothpaste delivered. Oh, and then also a coffee. Oh, and then also, you know what? I want some cereal. They're saying some stuff about the cereals.
Wow.
What?
I don't fuck with cereal.
Which one?
That's not in my
Oh, well, that's
algo.
true. That's 100% true.
Yeah, they're saying some stuff
That's
about
true.
cereal.
What is it?
That's true.
I'm
with
a
all
cereal
foods.
dude. Have been a cereal guy my whole life.
Love cereal.
That's true with all foods. It's just there's a lot more shit in American food versus European or
Yeah,
Canadian
what's legally allowed in our food versus other places has made it in my algorithm. And I'll tell you, this algorithm is really.
I've seen that.
This thing is getting.
People talking about going to Italy, eating like shit, and losing like 5 pounds.
Yeah,
facts.
And then all of our stuff. Yeah, and then the way you feel, but nothing
What you should do is get as much.
And we mean nothing.
feels as good as Pizza Hut does.
Amen.
All right, let's get to the picks this weekend, shall we? Let's start. Minnesota Vikings, Green Bay Packers in NFC North rivalry. The Minnesota Vikings all the way back with Sam Darnold at the helm. And then the Green Bay Packers. Wait a second. Is Jordan Love playing? Favored at home by 3. Ty Schmidt, early thoughts?
I really hope Jordan Love does go in this one because although Malik Willis has been great the first or filling in the last 2 weeks here, with how much Brian Flores likes to blitz, I think this could be like a marquee. Okay, Love's back. There's a reason they paid him this much money because a lot of people are doing is there a quarterback controversy? There's not. I expect Love.
Who's doing that?
Well, a lot of people. I think it's tongue in cheek.
Really?
I think a lot of it's bullshit. But
well,
if Malik has to go, he has to go.
He wins.
No, yeah, absolutely. But they need Love to come back this week and kind of really put a stamp on this division.
Can't wait to see that. AJ, what is your pick? The Packers are favored by 3. Okay, there's the
favored by 3. Yep, I understand how the lines work right there. It's very clear. I can see Green Bay -3 on the Green Bay section, not on there. So yeah, we got that one. Give me the Packers at Lambeau. Are you kidding me? This is a true test. Let's see where these teams are. They both get to kind of measure up and see where they're at. But give me the Packers.
I'll take the Vikings. Vikings getting 3. That seems interesting. We don't know if Jordan Love's playing. I'll take the Vikings, even though I love the Green Bay Packers and what LaFleur's been doing. We've been talking about how great of a coach he is literally all week.
Yeah.
And we talked about his defense. And you guys got that Irish punter who hits absolute
Dan Whalen.
Murders balls.
He does.
Well, they got 8 sacks last game, Green Bay?
Yeah, 8 sacks, 2 picks, and a forced fumble.
You know who hasn't been talked about for the Vikings yet? I think he's perfect on the season so far. Is kicker from Alabama.
Will Riker.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was good in college, too.
Yeah, he hit one in from like 55 or 56 last week.
Top of the post?
It went off the post and in. Yeah, it was absurd.
Yeah, he's got
good from like 65.
So Bama had a little bit of a kicking issue for a long time.
Yep.
And a big part of kicking, obviously, is mental. Alabama, every game's a big game. A lot of eyes on you. So I think the kickers that were kicking for Bama for a long time weren't as bad as everybody thought they were, but everything they do is being seen by everybody all the time. And then Will came in, and he's like all-time leading scorer, best kicker they have. He's been mentally shaped through the Bama thing. I think he was going to have a good career. I'm happy to hear that he has been crushing for the Minnesota Vikings. Give me the Green Bay Packers, favored by 3 at home.
Oh, okay.
Who's playing quarterback?
It's got to be
Jordan Love.
The line says Jordan Love.
Yeah. He's going to be great.
Yeah.
Jordan Love's great.
He is great.
The line will probably be flipped if Jordan wasn't playing, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
All right, I'll take Packers at home, favorite. Bengals, Panthers. Bengals favored by 4.5. This is a Andy Dalton, look at me now game.
Yeah.
AJ, how do you see this one going?
Man, I mean, my natural reaction, I feel like the Bengals are going to get back on track, but I have a hard time picking against, the Red Rocket. That guy is on fire. So, yeah, give me the Panthers, actually.
Give me the Panthers as well. That one's in Carolina, it appears. How many tickets? All of them?
I think a lot.
Sell out.
They're all the way back, right?
Might be a sellout.
Yeah.
I had some Panthers fans because AQ put the Carolina Panthers offensive line into his in the trenches, top five.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of Panthers fans quote tweeting a video going, "Oh, look at the switch up. Look at the switch up from the media folks." Hey, you had 20 people in your fucking stadium, okay? So who's switching up? Who's switching up? Who's switching up? Us or everybody on this Panthers team? And I think we're excited about it.
Yeah.
I'm excited about what this Panthers team is. And I like Andy Dalton getting 4.5 at home. And I think the Panthers crowd is going to be back. I think they are going to be behind them.
I mean, they got outscored like 80-3 the first 2 weeks. So let's fucking pump the brakes.
They were good last year and the year before, too, though. Like, they've had a good run.
I was reading a couple of those, and it was everything in me was almost just like.
Hey, their O-line's solid, though. Carolina's O-line's been solid.
Top five.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So if your O-line's good, you have a chance, I feel like.
Agreed. But, boy, Joey B, everybody counting him out. That's kind of like his thing, right? He's a dog.
I mean, this is kind of a must-win for them.
It is for sure. You can't go 0-4.
But they fucking didn't trade Dalton on his birthday and benched him.
Give me Andy Dalton and the Carolina Panthers on trade deadline day.
Yeah.
It's birthday, trade deadline day, benched.
Sit the fuck down, redhead.
Can't get traded.
Mm-hmm.
Have to sit here and watch this whole thing happen.
Bitch.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, that's exactly how it went down. You were there.
Verbatim.
Yeah, you don't listen there. Remember, we just found that out.
That's a good point.
Literally just found that out. Okay, I got the Panthers. And maybe the Bengals win that, though. Maybe. It's going to be a tough one, feels like. Broncos, Jets. Jets favored by 7.5 at home. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers went on a promo about how much respect he has for Patrick Surtain, the second, and then also the entire Broncos defense.
This is also, though, the get-back game for last year's Hackett comments because Aaron wasn't playing. Yeah, so this is...
No, he won't remember that. I don't think Aaron will remember that.
Aaron will definitely remember that. Did you see the video of him after the game in the locker room from one Jets drive? Seems like there was one particular part of the clip that I saw on the internet that could have been put out maybe immediately after the game was played and maybe put some fires out. But this is Aaron in the Jets after the big-time win. That part. Just put that out right after.
There it is.
Just put that out right after.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
What was the whole conversation? Is there awkwardness?
These guys hate each other.
Just put that out. And you can mark it. Still one Jets drive's coming. Put out a lot of fires, maybe. CJ, we can't wait to get you back, bro.
He's back, right?
Officially?
Oh, CJ.
Not bad at all, bub. They're vibing over there. Give me the Jets. I like the Jets favored by 7.5 at home, even though that's a lot of points to be given to Sean Payton.
Yeah, it's a bunch of points, but I'm taking the Jets here as well. I feel like they're going to win. Hopefully they win by 10.
Jags, Texans, a lot of questions in Jacksonville about life, I think. And then down in Houston, obviously some issues. What are your thoughts on how this goes? Houston favored at home in the Strad House.
I don't know what the Jags are right now. I have no idea what they may turn into, but Texans, they're coming off an embarrassing loss. They want to get back on track, so give me the Texans.
Yeah, some things were happening to CJ last week that hadn't happened to him, I don't think, his entire career. So I feel like that's going to motivate, inspire. And, Coach Saban said earlier, sometimes you need a loss. You need a situation so everybody kind of resets how it goes. They want to practice, not have to practice after that. I think CJ's that type of guy. Give me them. Pittsburgh Steelers, Indianapolis Colts. Steelers favored by 1.5 on the road. Where's the money at on this game? Is there any percentages out that we can?
I would take a guess where it's at. Yeah, 63% is on the Steelers.
Okay, so how does that make you feel, and why do you think that is the case?
Well, I think
I
think everyone just assumes, just with their eyeballs, that the Steelers are the better football team.
Okay.
I'm not too worried about it because it's not in the 80s. Like 80s would have scared me a bit.
70s even
would have scared me a little bit.
Yeah, but Indiana, big gambling state.
True.
Sure.
So a lot of people are going to be pushing for the Colts.
Huge sports fan base in Indiana. Kenny Moore and Kwity Paye being out is one thing, but if
I don't like that.
If Ryan,
the Kenny Moore loss is huge. That's a big.
I would be more worried that Ryan Kelly and Braden Smith didn't practice today. Now they're not ruled out yet, but
taking a G day. Obviously, got a big game. I know we're going to have to
Rest of the legs. Yeah, fresh legs they want.
AJ, who are you picking? You got the
Steelers right here. Here we go.
AJ, why are you so excited to be a Steelers fan all of a sudden?
You guys are lucky enough. You're going to be there in the stadium, so you're going to hear the passion that these Pittsburgh fans bring to that stadium. I have a lot of respect for them. I have a lot of respect for the Colts fans as well. But I feel like this is just all day long. Steelers grind it out, dominate on defense. Justin Fields, do what you do.
Yeah, listen, there is a chance, okay, that these Yinzers are making the 5.5-hour drive west. Okay? They may be coming from the Midwest.
They're already there.
No direct flights.
There's no direct flights. You have to do a layover in Detroit. Okay, so they would have to drive, and I assume that is taking place, and I assume there's people flying, yada, yada, you get it. But also, there's a lot of Pittsburgh people up in Chicago. There's a lot of Yinzers in St. Louis. There's a lot of Yinzers displaced in Ohio, let alone Kentucky and Michigan, and it's close. And they are a traveling fan base. Swarming is good. That is a good. They're a daunted. They are a daunted fan base. For good reason. They're great shit talkers. Okay, they know ball. Everybody knows ball.
Yeah.
And they want the Steelers to win probably more than you want your team to win. And they're going to put that on full display for the entirety of the game, both in their shit talking, their towel twirling. And then if it starts going their way and they can feel it, boy, then there becomes some.
They're going to chase.
The amount of that could potentially take place in the Loud House this weekend is certainly alarming. But Colts are up for the challenge. Okay. No Kenny Moore is certainly a little bit eye-opening. That is certainly a problem. Colts fans understand this theory that the Steelers fans are going to take over the Loud House. And they understand that there's a chance that could take. They're showing up. They're not putting their tickets on SeatGeek.
No.
They're not selling these tickets to Yinzers so Yinzers can get in there and have a nice Sunday afternoon in Indianapolis. No. When you play in Lucas Oil Stadium, it's going to be a long damn day.
That's what they say.
And Mike Tomlin's going to feel that. Now, his record against the Indianapolis Colts.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Is it good? I don't know. Is it good?
8-2.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
But they did lose last year.
I am worried the Colts are going to have some tricks up their sleeves in the Loud House because they've seen this movie happen so many times. They've just been dominated in their building so many times that they may have cooked up something for this one, man.
No, everything you said there, I don't agree with.
One last year, only as good as your last game.
It's true.
Oh, mama, I'm in bed. Oh, my life. Oh, mama. There's going to be a lot of that out here.
Yep. Not as perfect, but
no.
But that face right there. Huh? A lot of that. We're up for the challenge. Indianapolis Colts are a winning football club now. Give me the Colts. Getting points at home in the Loud House. That's crazy. That's crazy to think. Colts are getting points in the Loud House.
Well,
that's going to become a sports gambling thing. If the Colts are getting points in the Loud House, guaranteed.
Yeah. Take week one. Drop points in the Loud House. They covered.
Bingo. That's what happens in the Loud House. Magic. Can't wait for it. Give me the Colts. Saints, Falcons. Falcons wearing that red helmet.
Yeah.
And favored by 2.5.
Beautiful.
At home. It is glorious. It's loud.
It is loud.
Lot of red. Saints coming back, hopefully, into form for the good of the NFL because they were like the only offense that was just dominating people. They get brought back down to earth last week. Do they get another big-time win, or does this Kirk Cousins-led Atlanta Falcons team do their thing?
Saints are very banged up. I don't know if they had any updates to practice today, but I believe they have like 3 or 4 very important guys that weren't practicing throughout the week. Camaro was one of them. Pete, I believe he's out for sure because I thought he left the game last week. But
is
Pete Warner?
Who?
No. The center, Andres.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I believe.
Is Kamara playing?
That's what I'm not sure about. I just knew that he was questionable throughout the week.
Demario Davis is out.
That's the one. Demario Davis.
Kamara was limited yesterday. Demario did not practice. Cesar Ruiz, that was the center, he's out.
He's out like 6 to 8 weeks, yeah.
Center and Demario Davis out. And then Kamara resting. Interesting. AJ, how do you see it going?
Man, I don't like those injuries to the Falcons or to the Saints, but give me the Falcons at home.
I'll take the Falcons at home as well. Philadelphia Eagles, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Nick Sirianni, topic of conversation, even though they go down to New Orleans, get a win last week. Dallas Goedert was the 9th fastest human in the NFL. Are they going to continue to go? Or is Baker in the Buccaneers get a big-time win at home getting points?
I think the Bucs getting points at home, that might put a little chip on their shoulder. So give me Tampa Bay on this one.
All right, I'll take Big Dom and Sirianni in him.
A.J. Brown practicing the first time since his injury today.
I don't love that, though. I like that Bucs team. You know, Tom Moore's down there.
Baker football, too, is like, hey, I'm going to look like shit one week, and then next week I'm going to light the fucking world on fire.
Yeah, he doesn't really normally.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a bounce-back guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, I'll take Tampa Bay getting points at home. No, give me the Eagles. Okay. Give me the Eagles. That's a tough game.
It is a tough game.
Los Angeles Rams getting 3 points in Chicago against the Bears. Caleb Williams, Shane Waldron. A lot of conversations. Are these two the right pairing for each other? Veterans talking to Shane Waldron saying, hey, bud, don't put all this on you, man. We got to execute as well. Did they have a kumbaya and get brought together? I saw Caleb Williams bought a brand new house, $13 million.
Wow.
$13 million on a lake up there.
Palace.
It is a palace.
Yeah.
It is an estate. The pool is glorious. The lake looks fantastic. The room's going to need a little bit updating, so you can add that on top of the price of it all. But Caleb's living like a king. Is he going to make the Bears the kings of the NFC North during his time? And does this weekend a massive win over the Los Angeles Rams happen for Caleb and the Bears, A.J. Hawk?
Yeah, I think Caleb's eventually going to find his footing and do all right, but I don't think this is the week. So give me the Rams as dogs. I think they're offended by being underdogs as well.
Yeah, so this one makes no sense to me. Like, just doesn't make sense to me.
You think the Rams should be?
Bears defense is just nasty.
The Rams still have all those injuries too.
Yeah,
they should.
that's what it is.
The fact
That's
that
part
they
of
came
it.
back and won last week. Hats off to McVay and Stafford and everyone. That was ridiculous.
I'm going to take the Bears. I'm taking the Bears. Congrats to Caleb.
Not Bears.
And Keenan's back, too. That's a
Yeah.
big positive for that.
I mean, maybe.
Yeah, they can't protect Caleb, so that, you know.
Yeah, we have no idea, you know.
O-line did a lot better last week than the first 2 weeks.
Oh, you played the Colts.
Not true.
You better watch him. This is all making its way to the locker room.
So it's very quiet Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I just started getting my blood.
Yeah, you start getting a little excited. Earlier today, you were talking about how everybody's thinking 30, 40 point blowout here. Yeah. That's what everybody's thinking. It's like, wow. I can see how people are thinking that. You don't know this Colts team.
No.
This
is our
Colts.
This is our team.
You don't know them. You don't know this team.
You're right. They bleed blue.
And if the flow's in the building.
Is he?
Always.
I don't know if he is.
They don't let him in there.
Roof, though.
You can't let him in. Too much. That
Too
roof
much juice.
Yeah,
Too
too
much
much juice. Too
Guys
much
should open
juice.
the roof.
We should for him. Washington, Arizona. What's the weather actually here?
Rain.
Yeah, it's shitty all weekend.
Okay. That coconut husk, I don't think can handle the
No.
No, it might melt.
Be a little slick. You think TJ Watt's gonna be able to handle the coconut husk?
I texted him and said, "Hey, be careful about the coconut husk."
You texted TJ Watt?
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
Maybe you could help Kaboli out. Kaboli had an interview with TJ Watt.
Yeah.
I don't think TJ said more than 6 words and any of the answers.
That surprises me because I feel like TJ would have the utmost respect for
I mean, really? For Mark Kaboli?
I mean, we can't rule out the fact that Kaboli might have just had the worst smelling breath in the history of the world. And
We don't know if that's
TJ just wanted to get him the hell away from
We
him.
don't know if that's true.
Can't rule it out, is what I'm saying.
We don't, because
But ate 10 onions right before the fucking interview.
we've been learning a lot about Kaboli.
Yeah. I think the farts are probably the more, like, he probably, like,
Yeah.
he might have
Almost
sharted
killed
right
his
when he
kid
sat
this week.
down and, like, didn't know. And then got up afterwards and was like, gee, no wonder he wasn't talkative. I pooped my pants.
And what was in his pockets, too?
It's possible.
It is possible.
Yeah, so he's giving real short answers so he can breathe. Like,
So he's like, I'm having a good time working with the guys.
Yeah.
We don't know if that's true.
no.
There is a chance.
But there's
What if it was, though? What if Kaboli's questioning you and he's just farting all over the place? Like, they don't teach you that when they teach you how to handle the media.
Yeah, and there was somebody on darts this week that actually shit right into a microphone. right into a microphone.
The young phenom?
And then tried to, it wasn't, it wasn't him.
Because he does love
It was
his
James
kebabs.
Wade. James Wade just shit right into a microphone and then said it was Velcro tearing open. You be the judge.
That's not Velcro.
Oh, come on.
That's not
He
Velcro.
bent down and perched his little butt cheeks out, too. Look, he braced for it.
He pushed.
Velcro.
He pushed. There's a chance.
Look at this.
He looks around, too.
Yeah.
Old buddy was smirking, too, behind him. He turns right. Look at his face.
Old buddy's right
here.
in the trajectory.
Right here. Watch. Oh.
Yeah.
You might want to get through here pretty quick. You know what's coming.
Oh, it's going to be fucking rotten, mate.
I think I might shite myself.
So he said there was calls that he shorted. That is not true. It was Velcro actually on the bottom of his shoe, just kind of pulling up.
Sure. On the bottom.
Pulling up. And there's a chance Kaboli was having Velcro issues himself.
Yeah.
When he was talking to TJ Watt. But we will say what Kaboli's been putting out on X is top tier.
Top tier. Top bids.
He posted something at 3:30 a.m. the other day on X.
Balls.
I sent him a text. Buddy.
Wait.
Yeah, 8 a.m.'s okay. You know? He said, I was trying, I wanted to make sure I wasn't being lazy. I'm like, okay, you're not. Everybody else is, though. And X is like a pretty topical thing. Let it out there in the morning. He's busting his ass out there.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah,
truly.
Legitimately.
Potentially.
Right.
Busting his ass right there in front of TJ Watt. Keep going, Kaboli.
Kaboli.
We will talk to Kaboli next week, post the Pittsburgh Steelers Indianapolis Colts game, and also his trip to Indianapolis. Can't wait to see him out here. The Colts PR team is already excited for the arrival of Kaboli.
Yeah,
Don't doubt it.
Should be prepped.
All right, let's go to Washington and Arizona. Kind of a Cliff Kingsbury get-back game in Arizona. They've been practicing in Phoenix in Tempe, I guess, at Arizona State's campus all week. I do believe they even potentially were using the shipyard's cold tub.
Okay.
For some of their facilities and everything like that, AQ Ship Leaves.
Yep.
So they don't have to travel. They've been used to the time. They've been used to Arizona. Jaden Daniels fresh off a massive dub. Terry McLaurin, and then Kyler Murray, Marvin Harrison Jr., Gannon and crew at home favored by 3.5. How do you feel, AJ?
I'll tell you what, after what Jaden Daniels did on Monday night, I have a hard time picking against him this week. So give me Washington plus 3.5.
Me too. I really enjoyed that Cliff Kingsbury sideline talking shit to all his guys. They were saying, these motherfuckers. I like that. Cliff Kingsbury going back to Arizona too. He's going to want to dial it up. Dan Quinn, we assume, will have a plan for Kyler. He's a good defensive mind, and the team will do well. I'm excited for them. Patriots, Niners, 10.5-point dogs in Santa Clara. Con man, how do you feel?
10.5's a lot. I mean, you got to feel at least that you can cover that. But after the Rodgers show that he put on last week and the fact that, Debo and Kittle and all these guys are coming back for the Niners, I don't feel great. I'm not looking forward to watching, if we're being honest.
Give me the Niners, minus 10.5. AJ, how do you feel?
Man, 10.5 feels like give me the Patriots. I think they got to find
Hell yeah.
All right, Kansas City Chiefs favored by 7 on the road in L.A. Justin Herbert is hobbled. Both tackles are out. Derwin James is suspended. The Kansas City Chiefs have won, but they've never been happy with a dub. Seemingly, you talk about Coach Saban saying winning and playing poorly is terrible because everybody kind of gets complacent because they think what they're doing is right. Kansas City Chiefs know that this is not good football, and they're still winning. How do you feel about this AFC West rivalry game?
So is Herbert out? Do we know?
No, they seemingly think he's going to play. Is what it sounded like for Schefter. Yeah, he's going to play.
But they didn't they say it was a high ankle sprain?
High ankle sprain, re-aggravated, re-injured, and also they have a bye week after this week, so he could potentially rest that thing for 2 to 3 weeks if you count about the week after the bye week leading up to the next game. That's a lot of time for an ankle sprain this early in the season, but also Herbert's a dog. Herbert wants to play for the team, and this is a Harbaugh-led team. How do you see it going, AJ?
I think the Chiefs are going to be the Chiefs. Give me the Chiefs minus 7.
I think it's a lot to overcome for the Chargers, even though I love everything they got cooking over there. Give me the Chiefs as well. And I think Travis is going to go. What's Travis's do we have any of his player props?
Get him involved early. Let's get him involved early.
I know
they're not up yet.
1,500 for 2 touchdowns.
And you certainly have that part of some parlay.
Yes, I already have it in my 2-touchdown bet parlay.
Yeah. What are our options this year or this weekend? What's the big number
for
prize winning?
On that one, it is 20.
No, any one of them this weekend. What's the biggest one?
I'm confused by the question.
What's the biggest, how much is the biggest winner that you can produce this weekend that you've already put in?
$455,000.
That's what I'm talking about. That's the number I'm looking
That's the Kelsey, Jaden Daniels, Stephon Diggs, and who's the last one? There's one other in there.
2 touchdowns each.
2 touchdowns each, yeah.
$455,000.
$25, yep.
That's the one I'm doing. Just know that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah,
anytime I come over there. Because you've hit these before.
Yeah, none in the hundreds of thousands yet. No.
What was the first week?
53,000. 56,000, I forget.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal. Go ahead,
Kelsey's over-under is 46.5 yards.
Yeah, so I feel like that's an easy one. I feel like that's an easy one just with how loud it's been. It's been too loud.
Too loud.
Too loud. But are we making it now too loud on the other side?
I don't think so.
He always cooks the Chargers even when James is in too. Without James, this is the
Plus
game.
the NFL will.
It's an AP voter.
Yeah, exactly.
What the fuck, man?
I didn't even think of that whenever he said it in the time. I just thought to myself, this guy.
Tony.
Take off the cowboy hat, put the tinfoil cap on.
Yeah.
You vote on this shit.
This is your league. This is your league. Those are your votes. Teams.
I love them.
Yes, you do. 46.5?
I mean, one TUD is plus 170. He hasn't been plus money for a TUD in years.
These
he
all
used to
feel
be like
easy.
minus 150 every game.
It all feels too easy. Are we seeing things too clearly? Is this all too easy right
Maybe.
now? Jason Kelsey was crying almost.
Yeah.
Is his girlfriend going to be here?
Is she girlfriend?
I mean,
fiance or wife?
It's in L.A., so yeah.
That is her time.
It's true.
I hope she's there. A lot of people talking a lot of stuff about their relationship. It's all coming in.
Still? Like right now? Still?
Yeah, because the numbers aren't there for Travis, so now it's a full-on different conversation.
And tomorrow's
Well,
the 28th.
is he going to be there for warm-ups, or is he going to be acting at some big studio?
Tom, you're a part of the problem. You're part of the problem. You're part of the problem.
Gee.
Travis, once again, Travis hears all this. He acknowledges all this, and that's why he's going to go bananas this weekend. Can't wait to see you out there, Trav. Let's go, baby. Let's go, baby. Browns, Raiders. Browns getting a... Go ahead.
Yeah,
got some injuries.
A ton of injuries in this one. The Browns have ruled out tight end David Njoku, left tackle Jedrick Willis, right tackle Jack Conklin, and they placed all-pro guard Wyatt Teller on IR earlier this week, so that's 3 O-linemen out of this one. Raiders have ruled out Devontae Adams and Max Crosby.
And Michael Mayer. Says Ari. Shout out Ari, aggregating all the information.
A lot of injuries in this one.
All right, so what's the over-under here for this game? 37.5.
Yep.
Feels like I'll dance with the under there. And then Deshaun Watson said, I'm not running, so what do you say? That's an interesting answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Certainly.
He's not running.
Was that a trick to get him off like the breadcrumbs, like off the trail? Like
Maybe.
I'm not gonna run, but really I am.
Oh, you think he's maybe bluffing? You think he's bluffing?
Look over here, guys.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe he is bluffing. Maybe it's 45 runs this weekend for Deshaun Watson. I'm not trying to take any more hits. Just big-time heel answer, to a city that is a blue-collar city that you're not winning on.
You're right.
I'm not trying to take any hits. I'm not asking for more runs now. I'm not doing it. Come on. What are we talking about? I got 230 guaranteed, Buzz. You think that's what it comes off as?
Yeah.
Now, if they're winning, it doesn't come off that way.
No.
Losing does come off that way. With that being said, AJ, who do you like?
With all that being said, I like the Browns plus 1.5.
Give me the Raiders. Bills. Ravens. Sunday night football. Ravens favored by 2.5, AJ. You see that?
Look at that. Right there on the Ravens, right where it says Ravens is where you put the minus 2.5.
Exactly, you fucking asshole.
Check out the other one, pal.
It's all right. Okay.
Yeah, same thing.
There's photos on the other
Nope,
side?
definitely not the same. But yeah, either way, give me the Bills all day long here.
Okay.
I like the Ravens, but I love what Josh Allen and the boys are doing.
Yeah, I'm surprised it's 2.5.
It does seem like a lot. It seems like it should be a pick 'em.
For the Ravens, too.
They don't win in Baltimore or Buffalo.
Yeah, it's a whole new team, their new era. It's a whole new team.
It's a whole new era.
It's a new time.
Bleed blue.
Josh Allen.
Does every team have a DeFlo?
People might want him. The Packers were trying. Lady tried to jack his vibe.
She did.
She was just paying respect.
She was.
That's what she said. They really went after her, I guess she said.
Yeah, big time.
Rightfully so.
The Flow's fans are fucking rabid.
Yeah. You fuck with the
Flow
flow. You fuck with all of Indiana.
That's because he's the realest, dude. Give me the Bills as well. All right. And I'm only doing that because of the plane video where Lamar goes, we shouldn't even be live right now. We didn't play that good. You dropped a pick, he said. And then he was asked about it. He was like, I'm just trying to, like, I'm not. Like, I love Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
But I think he thinks that they're not.
Figuring out.
Yeah. Because what? They started running again, though.
They did.
They did
ran
last
for a
week
ton.
exactly what Harbaugh said they weren't going to do. He was like, Derrick Henry's going to get 12 to 15 carries a game. That's what we're doing, okay? We're not going to – we want to be multiple. And then they gave him like 35 carries last week.
He was getting like 10 yards carry. So
yeah, he was.
Yeah, and that's Derrick Henry football. If you get that in the first quarter or second quarter, boy, run it back.
Yeah.
Keep it going. And then you got Lamar Jackson available. Buffalo Bills, they're a wagon right now. They're fun to watch, too.
Yeah.
Being dogs is asinine.
I'll take Buffalo Bills. Love the Ravens. Okay. All right. I'm going to get the hell out of here. I'm going to go fly into a hurricane.
Nice.
Here we go.
Good luck.
You don't get to say that every day.
You're going to feel it and you're going to chase it.
Does feel like that. I think it's running away from me, though, because he got slingshot. You see from the mid-latitudes.
Yep.
The tornado came in.
Mm-hmm.
The residue of that. And it fucking grabbed
Got choked off.
Yep. You know how David beat Goliath?
Yep.
Of course.
One of these?
Sling shoot.
Mm-hmm.
That's what this nader that's coming over from the west is picking up this Hurricane Helene. Fucking throwing that thing.
Very sick.
That's what Jim Cantori told us in a baseball helmet.
That's right.
Hope he's okay. It's a lot of water.
Yeah.
He'll be all right.
He's got the neoprene on. He's good.
Yeah.
I'm just that whole area.
Yeah.
It's crazy that could happen. The ocean just goes, yeah, we're moving in now. And just take over our house.
Scary.
It is. I saw a house in North Carolina go down. This is in Tampa Bay.
We got to close that bridge, don't we?
That was what every tweet said about this particular video. This is I don't think this is a bridge. This is the street that goes around the bay.
Yeah.
That leads up to a bridge. It's actually there's a walkway there too. It's
So
a beautiful.
nice. Yeah.
It is a very beautiful part of town. Across that you go around here and then cross a bridge and it might be back. No, it's that way.
Mm-hmm.
You go across a bridge. We lived over there.
Yeah.
For like 8 months. 7 months, 2 nights a week, pretty much. So I don't want to say we know Tampa Bay.
We certainly do.
But we kind of do.
Absolutely.
And that is a beautiful part of town right there.
Yeah, you worry about that area. I mean, that's an inlet. Like, there's just, man.
That's going to be just completely filled.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, fuck.
Good town over there, too.
It was. That little downtown area, we spent a lot of time over there.
Sandwiches were great. They had a little bar, nightclub thing.
Yeah, a little Mexican restaurant deal.
Yeah, then the gas station, obviously. Go Boats.
Yeah, go Boats.
Go Boats everywhere. Yeah, so a lot of those areas are in it right now, and T's and P's to all of them. But that's a crazy thing what Mother Nature can do, to your point. Whenever they plow each other.
Yeah, her.
All right, let's get out of here. This guy's got an AP vote.
Yeah.
If this goes in, you're going to vote for a right person.
Oh,
For the AP.
I'm definitely doing that.
For the AP.
For the AP.
Sports.
Oh, fuck. Gonzalez.
PJ Watt.
That one's going in.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Myles Garrett.
No. This is a Colts ball.
Okay. For the win this weekend?
Yeah, for the win. In the lighthouse. These Yinzers are coming over. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to see downtown. They're going to have a good time. They're going to drink there's going to be a lot of drinking.
Ton.
Happening in Indianapolis this weekend. It's going to be a lively bunch coming to town here in Indianapolis. I hope you have a great time, Yinzers. But once you step foot in that lighthouse, you're going to feel it. It's a little different now.
Yeah.
It's not that old Lucas Oil Stadium that they used to call a library.
No.
That you guys could just come in and just take over and we'd have to go on silent count 4 minutes into the game. Okay, no. This is a different lighthouse.
Hell yeah. Rev it up.
This is Coach Steichen's lighthouse.
That's right. Don't look at me.
Comfortable, big plush seats, nice, cool climate control, good food.
Great internet.
Yeah. Real comfy. You could just take a nap in there.
Yeah, that's what the Yinzers are going to do. They're going to feel like they're on top of the world over there.
Yeah.
Wow, look how nice this place is.
I'm asleep.
Holy hell, fall asleep. Yeah, and all of a sudden you're going to have a loud house person right next to you.
Wait.
That's what third downs are like.
They play football here?
No, they play bully ball.
That's right. And Justin Fields is about to feel it. If this goes in. Whole lot of pressure. Oh, fuck.
Now this one. This one's for the Colts.
Here we go.
Wait a minute.
Here we go.
Wait a minute.
Got some noise
Mitt.
here.
Little noise.
Got a little noise going on, huh?
Oh, that's going to go.
I'm a little worried.
Is it football or not?
Oh.
Man.
Okay.
It's going to be a tie. I don't like that.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be bad.
If it's a tie,
AJ's 0-1 right now.
Yeah.
On the weekend.
I know. I'd rather lose a tie.
All right, let's get the hell out of here. Have an incredible weekend. We can't thank you guys enough for allowing us to do this for a living. Tomorrow, Alabama, college game day. Then we got a full day of great games that are capped with Georgia-Bama playing. Then Sunday, then we're back for Overreaction Monday. Then Monday Night Football is a good one.
two of them.
Two of them, again, back-to-back weeks. You know why? Because one of these games might stink. It means the other one will make up for it.
Amen.
That's team football.
That's right.
Speaking of team football, great work in the back this week, boys.
Work, boys.
Go, boys. Go, boys.
Graphic department, good work. Team.
Work, boys.
Go.
Way to go. Talks the table, phenomenal job this week.
Okay.
AP Tone, way to go. Almost
Thank you.
lost your vote 3 times.
Thank you.
Way to go, Tony.
AJ, way to go, man. Today, both ours.
Yeah.
All 3 ours.
Exactly.
That was awesome. All right, you guys are the best. Be a friend, tell a friend something nice that might change your life. We're in this thing together. Team on me. Team on 3. 1, 2, 3, team. Goodbye.